San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Cowboys Brain Trust met with the media today, and they have not begun to request interviews for their defensive coordinator vacancy, but they do expect to start that process soon. They also mentioned how re-signing running back Javonte Williams and defensive end Jadeveon Clowney are priorities for them this offseason. In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs fell to the Memphis Grizzlies 106-105 last night. Wemby was incredible. 30 points in 21 minutes.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylow-team.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And it's a hump day. Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a great one out there. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, thanks for joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. My name is Joe Reinagel. That young man over there is Jason Minix. And you having a good hump day there, Minix?
Yeah, although it's Wednesday. I wasn't sure what day it was.
It is Wednesday already. It's hump day.
Hump day.
This week's flying by.
You know, it's Wednesday already.
Already.
Lot going on in the world. First comment on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel is beat L.A.
Yes, I agree with that.
I do too. Although last night's Spurs game pissed me off.
Disappointing.
I mean, I know you ran out of time on Sports Center because I'm going to assume that the rest of your sentence was Wemby was fantastic, whatever you said. He just didn't get to play the final 3 minutes because apparently the coach doesn't know how to manage his minutes.
Well, or the guys with the glasses and pocket protectors said that's it. He's done.
Leads a serious question. I'm not trying to be funny because I was angry last night when I saw him go to the bench because his time restriction. There's 3.5 minutes or whatever left in the game.
And it's tight.
He's playing great. And the Spurs had basically sucked all night. De'Aaron Fox, that was his worst game as a member of the Silver and Black, although late. He hit a big three, had that crazy block, and then had the crazy turnover. It was awful. Jeremy Sohan played well when he got a chance.
He did.
But your best player is on a minutes restriction with 3 minutes to go, and you lose to the Grizzlies?
By one.
Right? I mean, are those next 3 minutes going to kill the kid? Is it going to devastate him? Is it, can you rob 3 minutes from last night for tonight or somewhere? I don't understand the minutes restriction when I'm talking about 3, right? I mean, now granted, all of us likely at some point when we were kids were told to be home at 12 and you got home at 12:10 and got in trouble and thought it's only 10 minutes, right? But the sports science guys, the whatever Sean Elliott said, the dudes with the pocket protectors, if we knew who those guys were, they would have needed protection getting out of the building like the refs leaving the A&M Auburn game last night.
Well, let me give you a different scenario. If you know you only have a certain number of minutes, as the head coach of that basketball team, isn't it more important to save 3 minutes for the final 3 minutes of the game than to run out of time before the most important part of that basketball game?
It was completely mismanaged last night. And I don't know if I should be mad at Mitch.
Yes.
Well, he's the head coach, so yes. Mad at the doctor. Mad at the – I was just mad. How the hell do you lose to Memphis? Right?
Well, look,
I mean –
they had a player step up late and played well.
I don't
but
care.
Still.
It's the Grizzlies.
You go up there, I mean, again, the third quarter too. A third quarter. I think there was a 21-6 run at one point by Memphis in that third quarter, and the third quarters have got to change as well.
Now, last night was a mismanaged game by the coaching staff. But why is this dude, Wemby, on a minutes restriction? And I say that. By now, everybody has seen the video where he is able to kick basketballs out of the net.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
So what part of that dude is hurt if he can actually do that? Like the dad in me, the coach, the doctor, I would be more concerned about him. He did what? Like, how is that physically possible? Don't do that again. You might hurt yourself. I thought I pulled something watching him do that. But at the end of the game, your best player can't be there because of a minutes restriction that you mismanaged. And do you not want it tells me that Mitch Johnson is not in control of that answer. Well, it truly does.
And it also, and I'm saying this for me and nobody else, whether you agree or disagree, tells me the Spurs are concerned. They don't want anything to happen to this guy. They're not going to overuse him, at least at this point in the season. But at some point in time, Spurs get into the playoffs. Is Wemby going to be on a minutes restriction?
No.
How do you know?
No, that's why he's doing it now.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can just go with what Mitch said, and I agree with Mitch. Like, I'm angry in the moment, but this is for later in this year and for years to come to make sure he's got a long career.
Well, how about we just worry about this year to start with?
Like today?
Yeah, like today. I don't know, this year. Let's focus on this year, and then we can look at next year and 5 or 10 years down the road.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy, but I'd kind of like to focus on this year.
I mean, but yeah, last night was because they should have won that game without him. But and again, bad games are going to happen. Fox had a bad game last night. Other guys played okay.
Julian Champagny,
and
3-point shooting specialist. Hey, how many did he make last night? He was incredible.
No, he was. He was. There were a few bright spots last night, but for the most part, it was awful. I think the Jeff McDonald tweet where he quoted Wemby sums up this Spurs team as we know it. The quote from Wemby: "The good this is, we can match up with everybody and look anybody in the eye. The bad thing is, we look everybody in the eye." Which means when they're playing a great team like Oklahoma City, they're able to elevate their game. And when they're playing a crap team like Memphis, they play at that level.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at Utah.
Yep.
Look back at Portland. Same thing. And losing to those teams. Now they've got the Lakers coming in tonight. Wemby's listed as questionable tonight, although
he'll play.
Reporters that were in Memphis last night said he looked great and wants to play.
He does. And granted, now the Lakers last night were in a dogfight themselves. They had to rally late to beat a bad New Orleans team, but they got the win. But they rallied late and got the win. So it's not like they blew out New Orleans and their starters got a lot of rest last night. 8:30 tonight here in San Antonio, national TV on ESPN. And let's see if the Spurs can play up to the level of competition, because they've done a really good job of playing down to the level of competition. And I think that's why we're angry with a loss last night, because we now know this basketball team is better than they have been in years, where you do look at those teams. That's a bad team. That should be an easy win. How in the hell did we lose that one?
Well, it's a good thing, too, right? If
yep.
we're upset by a loss like that to Memphis, the team you don't think you should lose to, and so that's good. So that means the Spurs have been playing well. But lately, man, after those 3 wins against Oklahoma City, it hasn't really gone all that well.
No.
I mean, it really has not. And I don't know what their record is since. I want to say it's like 2-4. It hasn't been good. And don't quote me on that, because I don't know that for sure. But it hasn't been good. And so I don't know what's going on or what's happening or what the deal is, or they got too big for their britches after just smoking Oklahoma City 3 times in a row.
Yep.
I don't know. But, yeah, things got to change. And last night was disappointing. I'm probably more disappointed with last night than I have been with any other game this year, although I was pretty disappointed with the Utah loss.
Yeah.
But having said that, last night was really disappointing.
Well, and I think disappointing, angry because you felt like because of a minutes restriction, your best player wasn't there to close the game. And you just watch the W turn into an L. Although when De'Aaron Fox hit that shot and they went up, what was it, 105, 101, I thought, all right, well, they're escaping with the win.
Yep.
But the idea that last night was frustrating, angry, because of a minute restriction.
And that may be the most disappointing part of it, because if you've got 22 minutes, 21 minutes with Wemby, then as the head coach, you've got to do something about it. I mean, you do. You got to do something about it, and I'm not sure exactly what Mitch Johnson was thinking about, but it is what it is. The Lakers tonight, they can get that bad taste out of their mouth.
What are you doing over there, turning things on and off?
Well, I'm turning because my computer just died.
Yours too?
And I'm like plugged in.
Oh, well, you turned everything off.
Well,
over there.
I thought maybe it was off. I don't know.
Oh, no, it's on.
Were you
well,
charging?
It is now. Yeah, it was.
It's on now.
All right.
See, things go wrong. And my computer's obviously on a minutes restriction, and I didn't manage that very well.
But no, you didn't. We're only 11 minutes into the show.
Damn it. First quarter, and I'm not managing things well.
And you're plugged in?
I'm plugged in.
Correctly?
I think so. Yeah. Looks like everything's good here. I don't know. There it comes. It's back.
All right, so you plugged it in correctly. It's amazing.
I must have.
Hit the hole. The right one.
It's what she said. Oh, my
It was there,
goodness.
just no contact.
Apparently so. I guess. I don't know what the hell just happened. Yeah, I'm ranting and raving. It's the basketball gods who are striking me down.
Pop on line 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no doubt. Speaking of, I was going to say basketball guys, maybe football, Kings, Jerry Jones being one of those, speaks today along with his son Steven, who I think didn't call him daddy once. But it was also Brian Schottenheimer was there as well, and they talked about what their plans are for the offseason. We're going to let you hear from those three guys when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, collagen packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The PorkRinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero college football post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back here on The Blitz on a Wednesday afternoon. Some people call it Hump Day.
Hump Day?
I love that camel. Have I mentioned that lately? I really do
Stop
like
it.
that guy. I can't. Stop it. I can't. But Jerry...
Well, you just got to quit that.
Jerry Jones was holding court today.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I love about these end-of-the-season press conferences that Jerry does? Steven's up there and Schotty's up there, and they don't really say a whole hell of a lot. Jerry talks most of the time.
Well, he has got every title that you can imagine all the way through, so that would certainly make sense. And it's Jerry's show, but he said all the things that you would expect him to say. Now, when it comes to Eberflus, he got fired.
Uh-huh.
There will be a new defensive coordinator. He was asked point blank, is this Schotty's call? Is this your call?
Trump just said it. I'm running. Venezuela.
What? At least he's in a good mood.
Seriously. Schotty had everything to do with hiring Matt Eberflus last time, and that's not done as a negative. It had no way in the world he's here if Schotty didn't want him here. Okay, let me be real clear about that. And he can tell you in his own words there, no way in the world if Stephen didn't want him here. But I particularly had a party when we got him to have him come in. And I was excited about having the uniqueness of his staff. And so I say to our fans, the way we've done it, I'll assure you that the way we've done it in the past, that alone will cause me not to do it that way now. That alone. That's simple logic. If whatever we've been doing to do it in the past there, we need to change that, that'll happen. That's what you have to do when you're doing it, making the ultimate calls. We'll make it the same way that we've made all of the calls around here on staff. I wouldn't make a call if Stephen didn't agree with the call. I wouldn't make a call if we're involved with a player and somehow Will wasn't involved in the decision of making the call. I wouldn't do that. And by the way, those guys and me, we take a lot of opinion. If you want to criticize me for anything, it is that maybe I should make a lot of uninformed calls or contribution to the decision calls. But I've done it with consistency since the day I walked through the door here. Uh-huh. We'll do it the same way as we hired Flus. We'll do it together and come up with as good as we can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Jerry means well, and he probably did have a meeting, and everybody was in there, but he probably said Eberflus is who we're hiring, and everybody agree with that? Yes, Jerry.
Now, in all fairness, that's exactly how it happened.
Exactly.
But in all fairness, he doesn't necessarily surround him with a bunch of yes men. We know Stephen will challenge him. We've heard the story. Same with Will. But I do wonder, though, with this group decision-making that he claims that they always do. Informed? Who do you like? Anybody here against it? Yeah, he chews loud. All right, well, that's not a good reason not to hire him, so that's our guy. I'm just curious what the real dynamic is in there. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of truth into what Jerry just said. If Schottenheimer wanted nothing to do with Eberflus, and really went to bat against him, then Jerry probably does take that into consideration. But at what point Jerry collects the information, and then as a group they make the decision. But I'm curious how many times somebody said, here's my first option, and Jerry said, no, what about this guy? Yeah, all right. I mean,
Yes.
like sometimes you understand what your boss is, and we were talking to a guy here, we got new corporate people, and it's like, I'm not sure how much I can battle this guy or that guy. I mean, I can tell them if I don't agree with their decision, but ultimately it's their decision.
Sure.
And I wonder if it's more like that with Jerry as he talks about his group decision-making.
Well, I think Steven has some control. I mean, we've seen that with the Johnny Manziel situation,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, where I think the story is Steven had to push him up against the wall and not let him do that. I think Steven has some pull when it comes to Jerry and what he's doing for the most part. But again, Jerry owns the team. And ultimately, it's like any boss. Whether you agree with the decision or not, the boss gets to make that call, and that's what happens in Jerry's situation. It's going to be fascinating and interesting to see what happens and who they hire as defensive coordinator. I've heard all kinds of names flying by, and this guy or that guy, and will it be somebody that Jerry's not familiar with, which is not Jerry-like? That Schotty may be more familiar with and more comfortable with.
Well, and Schotty talked about what he wants to see in a defensive coordinator.
At the end of the day, we've had this conversation a lot. The best coaches, in my opinion, are flexible. So we're not going to pigeonhole ourselves and say, hey, we have to be 3-4, 4 down, whatever it is. I mean, I've been in the West Coast system, the digit system. Hell, I played for Steve Spurrier in the fun and gun, right? Good coaches take their players that they have. They've got an identity. They take their players and they fit their players into the model that fits what they do well. And that's why I go back to what I said earlier. You're looking for a teacher. You're looking for a guy that has the ability to instruct and get guys to believe and get guys to buy in. We're salesmen. When you're up there in front of the players, you're selling them on why what you're doing offensively, defensively, special teams, why it's going to work. And part of that's your personality, part of it's your ability to communicate. But when we cast this wide net to go find the right guy for this job, which we will find, no question about it, it's going to be the things that Jerry was talking about, but also the flexibility of, hey, we can do different things, because those are the things that when I talk with Jerry and Steven, those are the things that cause us problems, the flexibility and some of the unknowns and things like that.
Well, that's interesting, because the biggest knock on Eberflus was he was not flexible. It was his way or the highway when it came to the defense.
Mm-hmm. So they want something complete opposite.
Yes.
But also, he sold them on, we're going to run this style of defense, and then didn't. Now, you might argue the personnel was a reason for that. Who knows? Now, one of the things that I found most interesting in Jerry's press conference today is Jerry Jones used a word that you don't hear from Jerry Jones. Now, it didn't say when. And based on where they're at right now in this particular category, it's a long way from now. But it's a word that nobody thought you would ever hear from Jerry Jones, and that is retire.
My goal in life is to retire as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. That's my goal. To be retired in the NFL as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. We've got 3. How many more do I have to go as a single owner? Bob's got how many? 6? So I've got
work to do.
Got work to do. I got work to do, but at least I'm up to the second rung in the ladder. But my goal is to have retired and won the most Super Bowl as an owner.
Problem is, Jerry, that, I don't know, Bob Kraft might have another Super Bowl this year. It is possible.
It is, but right now math is where it is. But I mean, look, nobody ever thought that Jerry would actually ever retire. He's going to die in that chair. Or is he actually thinking about retirement?
Well, I'm going to, I will go down. No, I'm not going to say that. If, I'm not going to say.
He's a 10-toe high guy.
I'm not going to say that at all. But listen, I don't want to dare the gods, okay, around here. But seriously, guys, I'm going to have to say this to everybody in this room. I hope y'all, I don't know what your ages are, but I hope, let's just say Steven's age, if he has as much fun between where he is today and where I am today in age, if he has as much fun as the guy sitting here beside him, he's in for a hell of a ride and a hell of a life. I've had my most fun in the last 21 years. And obviously, everybody likes to dream. And I promise you, high and hard on my dream list, way ahead of making a buck, okay? Because I don't need a buck. Way ahead of that is to go down as the owner that won the most Super Bowls.
Everybody's got to have goals.
What, he wants to be high and hard with Candy Lee? I don't know. Oh, my goodness. That's
hard.
Really,
yeah, it's definitely
that's
hard.
That's really all I took out of that soundbite. He said, high and hard.
I mean,
like, whoa.
Well, he started out with a "that's what she said" joke. Are you kidding me?
That might be a distant memory for old Jerry.
You ever hear the beginning of that one again?
Boy, that hooker just lifts me every day.
Not that one.
Well, I'm going to, I will go down. No, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, you see what I mean? I mean, you know, he's just, I mean, it's the off season for him. But
I like it naked.
He did use the retire word, which is the first time that I can recall Jerry ever talking about life after the NFL, not working. I mean, this is a guy that's going to be in that chair making those decisions until he's pushing up daisies.
Well, yes, because he's not going to win 4 Super Bowls between now and then.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't know that.
Well,
You're the king of saying we just don't know.
In Jerry's situation, his age, and where he's at, I'm pretty confident.
I mean,
I'm just saying he's not going to win one this year. So you got to start over next year. What is he going to win 4 in a row? That's possible. 26 through 30. Jerry could overtake old Bob Kraft, unless the Patriots just happen to slide in there this year and win one.
I mean, it's possible, but I'm glad that a billionaire who doesn't need a buck, in his words, has dreams. He has goals.
Yes.
No longer about making money, boys and girls. It's about winning Super Bowls.
Uh-huh.
So is that going to change the outlook here? Because he just said he doesn't need a buck. It's not about money. It's about Super Bowl wins. He's got a goal. Has his goal changed? Did he make enough money finally to where he was like, you know what? Because I don't know if you saw this stat over the holidays, but, and I don't know if I can find it fast enough, but a loss that I thought would be more devastating to Jerry than anything was those Netflix Christmas Day numbers. The Cowboys' numbers weren't near as good as everybody else's by a lot. By a lot. And you know what matters to Jerry. Or at least we say that. To me, I thought that'd piss him off.
Well, it didn't piss him off. He's already got that Netflix money.
Well, but
regardless of the ratings.
But the other games on there had more people watching than watching his Cowboys. Which, although Christmas Day at noon was a weird time.
Well, it was this sucky game too.
It was a sucky game later that had like 30 million more people watching it. Right? It was the noon window. I mean, you're still trying to. I don't know. I just, of all the things, I thought that was there. Now, Stephen did make some conversation today. He does make the cut sheet because he talked more business than, say, Jerry. One of the things that Stephen talked about was position groups that they really have to focus on. No surprise, the one area that they are going to spend the most time looking at.
Yeah, I think obviously linebacker. As we've mentioned, we love Overshown. I think he's a core piece of the defense, but certainly, we could use some help there at linebacker. And then I think secondary. It's always important to be able to cover the guys. And, between injuries, between Revel being a little slower getting into the mix, coming off his injury from college. He was obviously a little raw when you first get out there and you hadn't had a OTA practice or a training camp practice, and so it took him a while. So, I still think, though, we need, help in the back end. And certainly, obviously Clowney had a great finish to the last half of the season. And, I think he's an important guy for us to add. He's free to add to the mix.
I find it interesting and kind of surprising, quite frankly, that Jadeveon Clowney and Williams, I guess it was Steven or Jerry or somebody said that they're going to be priorities to bring back.
Yeah, Steven did say that, but I mean, you got to get a typical Steven answer in there when talking about how do you fix all these holes with the salary cap issues.
To be efficient, it starts, as we've talked about, with the draft. I think someone mentioned we had a draft one year where we picked, the first 6, 7 picks were defensive players. And obviously that's a route to go as well, but we will also be able to look at guys, priorities, Clowney, priorities, if we see the right deal, which is historically how we've been in free agency, especially as you've mentioned, we've got a lot of big money tied up in, 7 or 8 players. But, part of making a great football team is having the complementary pieces as well. And I think that's where we struggled some this year. Our complementary pieces, weren't as good as we might need. And whether that was because we weren't getting them in the right position, from a strategic standpoint, or whether it's just lack of skill. I mean, all those are things that we're going to evaluate. Obviously, that's why we're in the market for a defensive coordinator right now. That's part of it.
Because that guy sucked. That guy was awful. And we always go bargain shopping on the free agent market. They didn't work this year because that dude didn't know what to do with them. Is that what I just heard?
He didn't put them in the right positions.
Yeah,
that's what I think I heard.
Yeah.
I think it was. It's going to – I say this every year. It's going to be a fascinating offseason when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and what they do and the decisions they make. And I know one guy – that, I worry about him sometimes when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys because, it affects his health, I'm afraid. That would be one R.J. Ochoa, blogging the boys. He joins us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, and Jeremiah Smith played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
Hornitos Tequila and America's team have one major thing in common. Everyone can enjoy them. They weren't made just to have a few fans, but to gather people who love high-quality, real Texas football and premium fresh-pressed agave tequila. It's for all our fans. Whether you live in Texas or not, or sip your Hornitos in a Paloma or straight, it's 100% agave tequila for 100% of Dallas Cowboys fans. Hornitos, the tequila de todos. Drink smart. Hornitos Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. 2025 Salsa Tequila Import Company, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Did you know that Apple started in a garage? Google started in a garage. So did Amazon and Hewlett-Packard. At the next rodeo, we have nothing against garages, but this is for those burgeoning businesses that started in backyards. Bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, home offices, and also garages. Small businesses with smaller beginnings that were looked down on, tucked down too, but had the smarts to survive and the grit to grow. And now they're ready for the next chapter, the next level. Now they're ready for the next rodeo. The Next Rodeo is a creative partner that brings world-class thinking to companies who know where they're going, no matter where they came from. The Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want is one great idea. Get the full story at thenextrodeo.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now upgrade to a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 instant gift, plus next-day delivery. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. Next day delivery available on select mattresses and subject to location. See store for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Well, the offseason has begun for the Dallas Cowboys. No playoffs for them again this year. It's going to be an interesting offseason, as it always is. Thanks for stopping by here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix.
Cowboys did have their end-of-season press conference today. A lot of interesting things about it, and a lot of it kind of what you expected to hear. Let's talk about it. R.J. Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com joining us now here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I know it's kind of knucklehead, but the thing that struck me was Jerry Jones actually used the R word, actually talking about retirement, which now, granted, he has goals before retirement that seem unachievable, but the fact that he actually said the retire word.
Yeah, he also mentioned some politically charged things right now, so he was all over the spectrum. I don't know that I think he'll ever retire. You know, it's just amazing. Like, I every day almost think that there's no further these dudes can sink in terms of just being and acting a fool. Get a press conference, and I remember that it is possible. So every day is a surprise as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I tell you what, it's always entertaining, that's for sure, depending on your perspective of it, I guess. Frustrating, entertaining, however you want to look at it. But look, obviously, you mentioned the politically charged comment that he made, that he's in charge, like Trump said he was in charge of Venezuela, when it comes to the defensive coordinator. Look, Jerry said he didn't hire Eberflus, but I think we all know better than that. I think there was a Jerry hire, and I'm not sure Schotty had much to do with that. Do you think Schotty's going to have any more input on the next defensive coordinator?
Before I answer the question, I want to say that I've grown to like Brian Schottenheimer, and I think he's a fantastic human being. And I think he's making the lemonade that he can in this particular situation. But to answer your question, I don't think he would have this job if he was the type of person who was going to demand control and demand some sort of authority over something like this. I think the reason why the Cowboys chose to give Brian Schottenheimer the seat he's in is because they knew when they hired him that they would be able to do things like this. And so I think it's nice and also kind of mean to the day after they fired Matt Eberflus be like, that was totally Brian's idea. Like, what are you guys talking about here? You know what I mean? Like, but I don't for a second buy that Brian's the one who's running this whole thing. I would love to be wrong, but I just don't believe it.
No, and I'm with you. I do think he has some influence.
Sure.
But at the same time, we all know Jerry is the ultimate decision maker, and he can say that it's a collective decision, but ultimately it is Jerry's decision. But listening to Brian the last couple of weeks, and even to a degree today, I do think after this year, he probably will be a little bit more vocal in what he's looking for. And the fact that he clearly said what he wants in a new defensive coordinator is somebody that's a little bit more flexible based on personnel, which I thought was a direct shot at Eberflus. But it does make me wonder, who do you think is on the actual short list as opposed to all the different media types saying this guy, that guy, that guy? Who do you think really is on the short list?
I think that it's going to be somebody that has a connection to one of them. That's the way this tends to go. And it may not be like Matt Eberflus specifically, somebody who had a history with the Cowboys, but somebody who Brian Schottenheimer knows or had a cup of coffee with or was on the same staff as at some point. I think it's going to be somebody who they can sell was a part of a great defense in the past, whether that's this moment in time, the 2025 season, or somewhat recent history. I think that they want some level of familiarity, because familiarity is trust, and trust is control. They're not going to bring in somebody who they don't know how they operate, they don't know how they want to do things, and then they will make it look like this new person has some level of power and influence. They will make it look like, oh, we're going to bring in some of the free agents that this guy had at his old team, whether that's the Broncos or the Falcons or the Jets or whoever the case may be. But I don't for a second believe it's going to be Brian Flores or it's going to be even Jonathan Gannon. I think it's going to be somebody. I think the worst case scenario, and this isn't about the candidate, but would be Joe Witt, who the Commanders moved on from yesterday, just because that would feel like such a, man, we know him. He's been here before. Let's do it again. That would be Matt Eberflus light. And so in that respect, it will be, I think, a mild household name, but kind of in the way that it is like nowadays when, I don't know, The Rock is in a movie. Like we know he's in the movie and he's a very, very famous celebrity, a very famous name, but like that movie's not winning an Oscar. That's the kind of, sort of move I expect, if that makes sense.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised either. The Cowboys are a strange bunch, that's for sure. But I think Jerry, and just listening to him today, and maybe he's got me fooled, I don't know, talking about Robert Kraft, talking about catching him and retiring with the most Super Bowls, I think even Jerry Jones at his age can say, you know what, it's time to win a Super Bowl. It's time to at least compete for one. And I think he thinks that he's got the draft capital and the money to put some players on the field that is going to improve this team significantly. I mean, I just don't believe that as much as you do. And I promise I'm not trying to be negative Nancy or a pessimist or anything like that. But, I mean, if that were the case, then Brian Schottenheimer would have full authority over the search, right? Maybe he will, right? Like the offseason has yet to be fully or written in any sort of perspective. So maybe the Cowboys really will turn it all over to Brian. Maybe they really will be active in free agency. Maybe they will get a George Pickens and a Brandon Aubrey and a Javonte Williams extension done before the franchise tag deadline, right? But the drought is about to be 30 years old, like literally 30, not rounding, not approximating. And so I just don't know why, like, all of a sudden it would be like, you know what, now 30 is enough, right? Like 29 wasn't enough to make me feel like, to take this seriously. Now I'm totally for real. I mean, I've burned up second and third and fourth chances with a lot of people in my life. And when I asked for the thirds and the fourths after the seconds, I didn't mean it any more than when I asked for the second. You know what I mean? Like, we're all just bartering in certain respects. And I think that's what today was. Today was trying to say, I know you guys think that I care about money more. Trust me. That's not the case. Just trust me. I know I can't prove it to you how you should, but trust me. That's the way to go.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Jerry did tell us he has a dream of winning more Super Bowls than any other owner. It's not about a buck. He doesn't need a buck. So I think, to your point, he was trying to say it's about winning. Then it was Steven's turn talking about how to do bargain shopping during free agency, using their draft picks on the defensive side. But I know this team, right? I until they do something different, I can't assume that this year they will do something different. So I do expect them to be players in free agency about a week and a half after free agency has started, and all the players that you thought you might see with the star on their helmet or somewhere else, and then you get this guy or you get that guy on the bargain shelf?
Yeah, well, two things here. One, I think the Cowboys, if they're anything, they are hyper aware. They know what is being said about them. They know what's being written about them. They love the Blitz. I hope they love blogging the boys. Although based on the words that I write, maybe they just are aware of it. But that being said, today, and like a lot of press conferences they have, it felt like, okay, these are the 12 things that we've seen trending about us on Twitter, right? Like we're here to nip all those in the bud. And so that actually doesn't make me believe you. That just makes me think you're trying to change our mind. But beyond all of that, the only part that you missed in your forecasting, Jason, is they will be connected, right? Like they will be utilized as leverage for somebody, some big free agent, some big time coach. We will hear about how they were close, they were having conversations, and then that person will ultimately get the bags from someone else because that's who they are. They're just the leverage variable at this point.
You know, I can't believe I'm the glass half full guy around here today. I mean, you two sour pusses. I'm telling you, look at you. Now, here's my.
We live in the real world, man.
Here's another scenario, and I mean this in all sincerity. Jerry Jones loves Dak Prescott. He loves Dak Prescott, and I don't think Jerry Jones, and I mean this in all sincerity, wants to see Dak finish his career in Dallas without having some playoff success. And I think if there's any motivation for Jerry to do that besides money or besides whatever, I honestly believe that he would do that or at least give it a good try for number 4.
I would love to agree with you, Joe, and I do agree with you in a vacuum. But where I would push back is they said all those things after Tony Romo left. They vowed to never let that happen again to a franchise quarterback, and they've watched it. And I agree that they value Dak. I do believe that they love him and care for him. I think that they have loved and cared for certain chosen sons of the organization in different ways, like Jason Garrett. I don't know that they love and care for Dak in that way. Those are my 2 cents. But if they truly loved Dak, if they truly cared for Dak, would they have dragged his name through the mud, through contract negotiations multiple times over? Would they have let Dak serve as this just like target for hate and vitriol and become this magnet for such divisiveness among the fan base? I mean, you could argue that they did it coming from a good place because they wanted him to be well off financially. They certainly earned him more money in that capacity, but they costed him. I mean, they made Dak have to develop a callousness with regards to contract negotiations, and Dak won. Dak won because of it. But they ultimately played that hand and forced that situation. So I don't believe, I was going to say buy or believe at the same time. People say things like they're incredibly loyal with regards to somebody like Dak or Matty. I would say that's a mischaracterization. I think they're incredibly comfortable. They like what they like. And if it works, they'll cut a check. And if it doesn't, they'll make you the fall guy. A year ago at this time, they were telling us how awesome Matt Eberflus was and how he was a family friend. And today, it was he sucks. He's a loser. He couldn't even communicate with these guys. Can you believe that we had him in our building? We're so stupid for having hired him. But trust us. We're the ones to figure this out moving forward.
RJ Ochoa speaking truth here on the Blitz, 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And I think both of you are right. There is a love and a loyalty to Dak Prescott. But also, Jerry and Steven bring up often when you're paying your quarterback that kind of money, it's hard to fill out the rest of the roster. So it's like it's Dak's fault that we can't do this. But if they go and they're able to get a deal done with Pickens and they're able to now work on the defense, but 2 years into this new contract and both years haven't been in the playoffs, frustration. But to the point, Eberflus, one of the reasons I was a little surprised that they fired him and fired him as quickly as they did at the end of the season is Jerry having to admit he made the wrong choice for the second year in a row at defensive coordinator. Jerry, by firing him, has to own that.
I agree with you, and not only having to admit that 2 years in a row, but the 2 coordinators in question were family friends, right? Like they weren't just random people or whatever. They were people who had a history with the organization. They love to cry, woe is me, about the corner that we're painted into while they're holding the brushes and their hands are covered in the paint. I mean, you mentioned it, Jason. They have said at every opportunity that they could, that Dak is the highest paid player in the NFL. That's true. That's objectively true. But why is he that? Why is he the highest paid player in the NFL and not had for a lower? It's because of the way that you handled it. So you don't get to use that as some sort of, problem or demerit or handicap when you created it. And even if it truly was a handicap against your roster building process, it's your job to figure it out. That's quite literally your job as far as what you do relative to the Dallas Cowboys. So I think that, this is just the latest twist, right? Like this season on Grey's Anatomy, Meredith is going to be a doctor and a patient at the same time, everybody. Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central. And guess what? Scandal is on right after. Shonda Rhimes. It's a twofer talking ABC Thursday nights. If you can't watch it live, make sure you record it.
Grey's Anatomy's still on?
It was like, wait a minute.
It's been on for over half of the drought, if we want to get technical here, which is a very, very long time. I used to like it way back in the day, but it got preposterous.
My wife used to watch that show. We don't watch it anymore.
I
didn't know it was still on.
Time. Yeah,
I had no idea.
Is Desperate Housewives still on
breaking
too?
News.
Is that
Friends?
No, but that's what it is. Like,
are you watching new episodes, or are you watching the reruns on Ion West?
You guys remember when Thursday nights were like primetime television nights? Like, it wasn't when I was an adult, but when you couldn't record, like back when you guys had your 8-tracks and your stuff like that.
I've never had an 8-track, sir.
Thursday night was like a appointment television, right? Like you were there. You watched all these shows live, and that's what this is. This is just TV at this point. And so now it's, okay, what plot haven't we explored? Now we're loyal to Dak. Now we really care about Dak. And I hope they're true. Look, I hope that in 2 months' time, we can look back at this conversation and I just sound like a crusty Grinch and someone who was mad and doubted them at every single turn. I think they've earned all of this, God, to be fair. And I agree with you, Jason. Like, but like, and I know you both agree with this. Like, think about how pathetic it is that we're like, you fired the literal worst defensive coordinator you've ever had at the appropriate time to fire him. That's our expectation, or that's how low it is that they did that, and we are giving them a standing ovation. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's progress, RJ. Progress.
I do agree that it's baby steps. Jordan Sparks had a song once upon a time that was called One Step at a Time. This is that. But, I mean, until they, like, I have yet to be wowed. I really do. This is 2 full years now of toxicity, of dysfunction, of self-induced and then self-bragged about, full and total absolute anarchy that they love and enjoy. I don't watch professional wrestling. There's nothing against it. But this is that, man. This is WWE. You got dudes jumping into the ring, slamming chairs, cage matches, belt, whatever. It's like, this is all this is at this point in time.
And I love that. That's why we cover the Dallas Cowboys. It's entertaining. I mean, the expectation to win is just a cherry on top.
Joe, is it entertaining though? Like,
it is.
I get your point. But this. But they're past that point to me. Like, it's not. It's not entertaining anymore when you're just this dully predictable, right? It's just what it is at this point. It is Grey's Anatomy, or it's Fast and the Furious. I mean, it's like this time the cars are in outer space. You know what I mean? Like, we know they go really fast. Like, we know the bit at this point in time. So we knew that Jerry was going to come out. We know he's going to have some analogies, and he's going to try to pontificate. He's lost the fastball. Like, the charm is not the same anymore. It's not even entertaining anymore.
I don't know. The high and hard comment that he made was pretty entertaining, I thought.
The political one as well. I
That
suppose
one
you're
too,
right.
yeah.
He can still reach deep down in the barrel. That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. Look, again, what Schotty said today about Eberflus, I think Schottenheimer was a big part of getting Eberflus fired. Honestly, I do. I don't think they got along whatsoever. And that flexible word that he used today, Schotty, I'm talking about, Eberflus was not flexible. And I know we're going to go back to the Micah Parsons thing, and the poor guy, he didn't have the best edge rusher in the whole league. And that's a fine excuse for 3 games. But you're a football coach in the NFL. And you adjust. What would happen if Micah Parsons gets hurt game 1? You got to adjust. And he never did.
I agree with that completely. I think Matt Eberflus needed to go. But you can apply the context and give him the grace and ultimately recognize that he is still or was not the biggest problem with the franchise. He made it worse. Like, there's no question. But he was on an episode of Chopped. and he made something,
You watch way too much TV, buddy.
I'm waiting for the NCIS reference. They're going to solve the crime at the end.
Oh, that's definitely y'all, not me. But they asked him to make a gourmet meal, and he made something poisonous. Like, I'm completely with you. But my point is the ingredients still were poor. And it's not just Matt Eberflus. Like, this is a front office that has let this roster wither away for 2 years now. Late in the 2023 season, they got run over by Buffalo. They got run over Miami. We obviously know what happened in the playoffs against Green Bay, and they have just let everything erode ever since then. Last year, the fall guy was Mike McCarthy. This year, it's Matt Eberflus. Next year, it'll be who knows who.
All right. Now, that said, and we're running out of time, RJ, there are 1,000 jobs open, it seems like, in the NFL. Mike McCarthy's interviewing for one, although I think John Harbaugh has a chance to pick where he wants to go. Hopefully, it's not New York. I know McCarthy is going to interview in New York. Your good friend Jason Garrett is going to interview in Tennessee.
I think Jason Garrett
will do with the Titans.
I think Jason Garrett's best friend is his agent, who managed to get him back into Google search trends by having this interview. On a serious note, I will be very intrigued to watch Mike McCarthy because I will be curious to see if he succeeds and if he thrives without the circus, without the chaos. And if he does, I mean, that will only serve to underscore the things that we've been talking about here. And I think that Mike, like John Harbaugh, would be good for the Giants, would be good for the Titans, would help raise the floor of those organizations.
Well, the Titans' floor is way too far down. I'm not sure anybody can raise that, or not anytime soon anyway. But
I mean, we keeping a buck right now. We ask.
Yeah, they still are. So I don't know. Look, the Giants is a great job. I think Harbaugh ultimately is going to get that job. I do, and I know that that sucks for every Cowboy fan.
It does.
Commanders fan, Eagles fan, and it's not good for anybody that's in that division. But I think he will. Mike McCarthy's going to get a job. It just where. Does he go back to Baltimore? I hear Brian Flores is up for that job. It's going to be a crazy offseason all the way around.
Yeah, let's send Mike to Tennessee. Like, again, I really would like to do that. I want to travel to Nashville this summer, so I know Jason's been there like a billion times, so if y'all have any recommendations, let me know. But other than that, I hope the first week of the new year is treating you guys well. It's the first time I've spoken to you both together in a long time, so I'm glad to see you both still work.
Yeah, well, I mean, use it or lose it, man. You know, the company policy doesn't allow rollover days.
You know what? That's well said. But let's go. I know y'all will do picks, but I'm going to take Indiana, and I'm going to take Miami. And then in the playoffs, I will take I'll take the Packers. I think they're going to win and ruin this draft pick, and it's really going to suck. I think the Rams will beat the crap out of the Panthers. I think the Bills will win. I think that the Eagles will lose. I think the Patriots will win. And also because I love Pledge, or because I believe it, I think the Texans are going to have the most impressive win of the weekend.
All right. Information and answers to questions we didn't even ask.
Very
Good
nice.
stuff.
That's my life on this radio station.
We got to pay extra for that, RJ?
Bloggingtheboys.com. Appreciate you, man.
Hey. Des Carter, one love, and watch some Grey's Anatomy. Joe loves it.
Yes. Happy New Year, RJ. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, they broke the mold with that dude. They broke the mold.
Love that guy.
He's a great guy. He really is. Love talking to RJ Ochoa. Blogging the Boys. You got to go check him out sometime. That's for sure. We got a lot to talk about in the Headline Blitz coming up here in the next segment. A lot of controversy in Auburn last night with the Texas A&M Aggies. We're talking about that. But if your ex-wife told you that you were very well endowed, would that piss you off? You'd be surprised. It's pissing some guy off. We'll let you know what happened when we return here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Spurs taking on the Lakers tonight after the Spurs dropped a tough one last night in Memphis. You know, watching this game tonight, you want to make it more exciting. Make sure you're playing along on Underdog because it's the best place to make your picks and win money right now in Texas. So the best place to get in on all the action. My pick'em entry did not turn green last night because I had De'Aaron Fox and higher on his point total, and clearly he had his worst game in a Spurs uniform. Tonight, they got him right now at 20.5 points. They've got Luka tonight at 35.5 points. Would you go higher Would you go lower? LeBron at 21.5 points. Make your picks, build your pick-o-mentry, get your picks right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting weak is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
I just went to Staples. They have great prices on everything, like ink, toner, printers, paper, and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select HP printers.
Up to 30% off HP printers? Am I on a hidden camera show?
No.
Well then, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Ends 131. Select models only.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to 60%, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys met with the media today, and they have not begun to request interviews for their defensive coordinator vacancy, but they do expect to start that process soon. Well, after being fired following 18 years in Baltimore yesterday, now former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh is the hottest name in the coaching search, with reports from SNY that the New York Giants are, quote, all in on Harbaugh, and the Falcons are increasingly interested.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one, whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. We appreciate you stopping by and spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix, and we're happy to be here on a hump day.
Absolutely, although it's the appropriate day for the first story in Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Because it was a problem for Matt Khalil and his ex-wife, Haley. In fact, he is suing her because she went on a podcast and said that he was too big to actually have sex with, and it hurt, brought her to tears.
I don't want a big, long thing down there. 2 Coke cans?
She described it as 2 Coke cans, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Wow.
And she's complaining.
Well, I guess, and he's upset by that.
Well,
and he's suing her.
He is suing her because...
Dude, I'd put up billboards with her quote. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's me.
Well,
a lot of compliments on my bend. I'm just saying, I don't get it.
He is suing because Haley went on a streamer show and she, quote, implied that the size of the plaintiff's genitalia was a primary factor in the party's divorce.
Oh, wow.
And claimed that sexual intercourse with the plaintiff would leave her in tears.
I like it thick. Well, I mean, you know.
He claims those remarks on the stream has been subjected to, quote, unwanted attention and invasive commentary from the public. He claims his family members have been forced to endure the ongoing public circulation of these degrading and deeply personal statements. And she's making money at it because, you know,
now here we go.
She's she's
an influencer.
Yeah. Quote, financially benefit from this surge in traffic.
Surge, no pun intended.
Highly intimate and private facts regarding their physical and personal and sexual life.
I mean, don't we know that about all? Who was the guy that died in Landman, the owner of the oil company?
Yeah.
That guy supposedly is hung like a mule. And then you got old Pete Davidson, who apparently they don't seem to mind.
I mean, look, he is suing in an amount that exceeds $75,000.
I thought you were going to say 75 inches. I don't know. I don't know where you were going with that. 75 grand. That's what he wants for this.
More than that.
Thicker than train smoke.
Well,
don't laugh, Jamie.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a problem that neither one of us would understand.
No, I have no clue. And again,
Stop it.
There'd be TV ads going out. Quoting my wife. I don't get it, but I guess he does, and he.
Well, he wasn't because it hurt.
I suppose maybe, dude.
Peacock.
Yeah. Well, what? Where are we going?
The
And
channel.
boom goes the dynamite.
Oh,
the channel. The streaming service. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm just saying, we're going from a big one to a P. Go ahead, Minix.
Well, I mean, some headlines write themselves after one story. You go to Peacock is adding enhancements that may allow fans.
Now we got enhancements.
Mute announcers. Maybe potentially control crowd noise. You've ever wanted to shut Collinsworth up? Peacock is going to give you that opportunity.
Hallelujah. Where do I get that from?
It's called your mute button.
Although,
as a broadcaster, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this or not.
Although I'm a big fan of Mike Tirico.
Yeah.
Huge fan of that guy.
Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to choose which announcer you don't want to hear.
Well, I understand that. So that's why I leave the sound up and I just kind of ignore Collinsworth.
Although, I mean, of all the different enhancements that they could come up with for this, the one that I truly would like to see, all right, because, you know, when you're watching a game, and we're in this business, so we sometimes probably watch and listen differently, but to me, like listening to a Longhorn game, the crowd mic is too loud, right? And there's others where the crowd mic isn't loud enough. And these enhancements will allow you to do that. You could turn your announcers up or off, or turn the crowd noise up or off. But I want to get to, if I'm watching a college game, give me the option to hear my college radio broadcast. Give me the option to hear, if I'm watching a Cowboy game, Brad Sham's broadcast, an Aggie game. Give me the Andrew Monaco broadcast, whatever you're watching, give me the Craig Way Longhorn broadcast. Whatever. Give me that. Why aren't those options available?
I would be okay with that. With that. The problem is if you could just turn off the announcers, then Peacock and everybody else is going to use that as well. And nobody listen to you guys anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As an announcer,
pay you.
I'm not as necessarily a fan of this. That's what the mute button is for.
Well,
right?
I'm not. I don't know. I understand and I get it, and it probably will happen, but I'm just not sure that that's good for folks in our business, especially guys like you that do what you do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you're watching, the Navy All-American Bowl this weekend, they'll just turn you off.
Well, see, and if you're watching it this weekend, mute those guys and turn up the radio.
That's okay.
Yeah.
See?
Give me the radio broadcast of that. I mean, I'm just saying. It's a possibility.
Well, I don't want that to happen.
Speaking of Andrew Monaco.
Yes.
The voice of the Aggies. And what happened last night in the A&M Auburn game. The refs. Let Andrew Monaco explain it.
What do they do about the clock situation?
What do they do about missing that call on that free throw? What do you do there? And can you challenge a call in the middle of a play?
0.6 on the clock. Ball will be on the sideline.
So it hit off the rim, and they stopped play in the middle. You can't challenge something in the middle of a play. The whistle comes with 0.6.
Yeah, should have been over.
The game should be over.
Okay, here we
this
go.
Game should be over with 0.6.
You just
now again,
cannot foul.
they have to throw to the right. You can't. 90-88 A&M 0.6.
Frederico on the ball.
Freeman, Murphy.
You're kidding me.
You're absolutely kidding me. I don't know if he gets this off in time. You've got to be kidding me.
No.
This is a disaster.
We'll see.
Murphy hits the half-court heave, and it's being reviewed. Is it out of his hand?
Yeah, let's show it again. It looked like the light was on. What do you think?
I think this has been an utter disaster. Here we go.
Edited.
No good! Aggies win! 90-88! No good! Aggies win!
That's the call. The officials are leaving the court. That's the call.
90-88! Texas A&M over Auburn.
Ball game.
Fighting Texas Aggies 2-0.
Now, we had to edit that down because that stretch took about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but from utter disaster to we win. Quite honestly, and I've watched that replay I don't know how many times. I don't know if if the refs got it right or not, to be honest.
Oh, they did.
Well,
there's no doubt in my mind they did.
Well, see, except for the backboard light turns red, and it has 0.1 still on the clock. And so if you're looking at where the ball is, it turns red, ball's still in his hand, but there's still 0.1. Like I don't know if they got it right.
Well, that's a hometown clock operator.
And they got it wrong, right? I don't know. What do you go? Do you go by the clock? Do you go by when the scoreboard turns red?
Well, see, I wasn't looking at the clock. I automatically was looking at his hand and the red light up on the backboard.
Which I was, except for there's still 0.1 there.
Well,
and I don't know. It was close. It was close. Although, as Bucky in the TV interview afterwards was mad about the play before that we started that conversation, that soundbite there with Andrew Monaco. This was Bucky afterwards.
Yeah, we have a lot of depth, and it's hard to hear in here, but our depth played a factor in that game. I can barely hear it, guys. Here's the deal. These fans can get mad, but that game should have been over at the free throw line. Malfunction at the clock, or that game was over. Our guys played with resilience. I can't hear.
Yeah, no, Bucky, you're good. Congratulations, you're good, man. Get out of there safely.
Oh, Bucky McMillan. What a win for A&M.
Well, it's a great win for them, and look, I think the refs got it right. Now, I didn't see the play before that, but if Andrew's correct, and I have no reason to believe he's not, that it hit the front of the rim and they stopped play.
Yeah, it was weird.
They shouldn't have done that, and the Aggies should have won the game anyway, so karma is that, and the Aggies, well, they walk out of there with a dub.
The whole wild game, and we're at that point. I didn't watch. But we're at that point now. We got to start watching college basketball.
Yeah, it's getting to be that
although
time.
Thursday, Friday, we're going to be watching football. In fact, Friday, watching football over at Bubba's 33 with our friends from Flight by Yingling, getting ready for Indiana, Oregon in the semifinals.
Which will be the second game of the Final Four because Miami and Ole Miss play on Thursday night. So one of those teams will be watching that game intently, and you need to be watching it as well. Come on out and join us out at Alamo Ranch. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Of course, our friends from Flight by Yingling will be there. Beer Santa will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Beer Santa has got a big old sack full of goodies. And so he'll bring those out there and a lot of great prizes. Probably some free samples as well. 2 to 6, the Blitz will be live out at Bubba's 33 out there at Alamo Ranch. Thanks to our friends from Flight by Yingling. Going to be a lot of fun out there. Tomorrow night's going to be fun, too. I am really looking forward to the college football playoffs, the Final Four. And the only reason we have a Final Four like this is because somebody with some brains fixed the playoff system.
Just not the portal system.
Well, that sucks.
Which
it really does.
So much going on in college football.
You know what else sucks? Watching the Spurs game last night really did kind of suck. We're going to talk Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't, and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination, and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. This is AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6 for the perfect ride to work on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Jason, but for me, that Spurs game last night might have been the most disappointing one of the season. Thought they had that one, should have won it, and the Grizz come through and, well, they get it done.
It's the most frustrating of the year 2026 because they've had the ability, the tendency to lose to lesser teams. And this Spurs team is good. I think we've all recalibrated our expectations. So a loss like what you saw last night pisses you off, kind of like the Portland loss, kind of like the Utah. You know, it's trying to figure out which one is the ugliest baby. I don't know. All of those were bad. What pissed me off about last night was seeing Wemby get pulled with 3.5 to play because he's on a minutes restriction, and they obviously mismanaged his allotted minutes. And in a very winnable game, your best player, who was having one hell of a game, wasn't allowed to be on the floor because some sports scientist dude said that he had reached his limit with 3.5 to go. like those extra 3 minutes are going to be devastating to his future.
I'm assuming that the Spurs bench knew how many minutes he was allotted last night.
Yeah.
That's my assumption. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming that, and I think it's a reasonable assumption. And so if I'm the head coach of the Spurs or one of the assistant coaches for the San Antonio Spurs, I'm probably monitoring that where it doesn't happen where there's 3.5 minutes left in the game where my best player, who's playing lights out, by the way, has to sit after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, is this I'm assuming this is a hard and fast thing. It's 21 minutes, and that's it. He's done. I don't care when that happens, if that's the first quarter, second quarter, third, whatever. He's out. Done.
For Wemby and these minutes restriction, based on what we've heard from Mitch Johnson, the reason he's coming off the bench and a lot of times not playing in the first quarter is to best utilize those minutes. And I'm with you. They mismanaged the minutes last night. That's on the coaching staff. Although, at what point does the coaching staff say, well, there's 3 minutes left. This isn't going to kill him. I know what the doctor said, but yeah, he's looking fine. Did you see what he did before the game, kicking basketballs that were stuck in the net out of the net?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't jump up and hit that net to knock those loose. I would need a broomstick. So would you. So would Mo. And that dude did it with his legs. He's fine, right? You can't do that and then have to sit down because of a minutes restriction. According to the Express News, what Jeff McDonald wrote last night, quote, it's just going to be one of those living, breathing kind of situations that we're going to continue to juggle and balance until we don't when it comes to the minutes restriction. Clearly, they've got to do a better job of managing his allotted minutes. That was the 7th game in which Wemby has had to come off the bench in this, but to have to sit your best player down and then lose a game by 1 just sucks, especially considering the way he was playing. If he was having a De'Aaron Fox type night, yeah, sit him down, man. You're not really helping us. But even then, your best players need to be on the floor at the end of the game. De'Aaron Fox had his worst game as a San Antonio Spur, yet in the game late and almost damn near won the game. Finally hit a big 3, had that big block at the end, and had his ball in the hands at the end, and then he turned it over.
Yeah, he did. But, again, he's Victor Wembanyama, right? He's supposed to be the alien. He's your guy. You want him on the floor in the final minutes. And so, I don't care, especially if everybody's playing horribly and not doing well. Wemby kept them right there. I mean, it was a game because Wemby, 30 points in 21 minutes. It's just incredible. It's an incredible thing, and you got to have him on the floor. Now, I don't know if Mitch is saying, look, these other guys can handle this. We can win the game without Wemby, and perhaps that might have been true, and they almost did. But I'm just saying, if you're in a dogfight with a team, and I don't care who it is, whether it's Oklahoma City or Memphis, you want Wemby on the floor when it matters. And he was not on the floor when it mattered, and the Spurs walk out of there with an L.
It's as frustrating of a situation, and you know, as a fan, everybody listening right now, I got to imagine nobody's more frustrated than Wemby because he is that kind of competitor, and probably the coaches knowing that they messed up last night. They know they messed up last night. But Mitch Johnson said last night after the game, quote, we want him to be healthy for years, not just trying to win the next couple of games or whatever it may be. And I don't know what the coach is supposed to say at the end because the minutes restriction is to keep him healthy and, you know, I'm about to sneeze, sorry. Well, we got heater problems here, and or the AC is out. It's hot as hell in this room,
really is.
And they keep opening. I don't know, but whatever. Sorry. Yeah. The idea that I'm concerned about his ability to stay healthy, although his injuries have all been kind of weird. You know, blood clots, the knee. We all saw how that happened, the calf. But they're obviously very concerned about doing everything they can to keep him healthy. But you've got to do a better job of managing the minutes. And for the most part, on his minutes restriction, they have done a good job with that. I'm just, for the life of me, and not a doctor, but would 3 more minutes in last night's game been that devastating to his future?
I can't imagine that it would have. And again, I'm not a doctor either. But just think about it. Wemby did not look like he was in any pain or hurt or anything last night. The guy looked like he was fresh. He looked like, he looked like Wemby. And he was doing everything that he could and just making spectacular play after spectacular play. And I don't understand. If it's a hard and fast thing, then the coaches have to do a better job with that. If it's not, why not? Especially if he looks that good. And I get you want to keep him healthy. Okay, I understand it. And let him play last night, win that game, and sit him tonight. What's he going to play, another 21 minutes? And how's that going to work? If they're in a dogfight with the Lakers tonight at the Frost Bank Center, is Wemby going to be on the bench with 3 minutes left to play?
Yes, and it's going to piss us all off. And how many times did we hear during the Spurs heyday, Pop say seeding didn't matter. It was all about just being in and healthy.
Right.
And you look at tonight's game, where the Lakers are in the standings, where the Spurs are. The Spurs could go from 2 to 6 like that. And their next stretch of games, their next 10-game stretch is going to be brutal. And last night was the easy win. And this team has played down to competition over and over and over this year. They've also played up to competition. Great teams don't play down. And as I say that, yes, I'm fully aware the Lakers were in a dogfight last night in New Orleans against a bad Pelicans team, but they were able to rally late and got a win, and they're rolling into this game coming off of that come-from-behind win. And I say it that way because it's not like they had a 30-point blowout win and Luka and LeBron got to sit a whole bunch in the fourth quarter.
No, and that's fine, but the Lakers found a way to win.
Yeah.
Against a team that they should beat. Spurs didn't last night against a team that they should beat. And just to your point real quick, as I look at the standings, the Spurs are a game and a half ahead of the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Houston Rockets. They sit at 5 and 6 respectively. So what Jason said, you could go from 2 to 6 in a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
And the Phoenix Suns are 4 games behind the Spurs, which they've a little more of a cushion there, obviously. But think about this: the last 6 games, Jason, and I looked it up. The Spurs are 2 and 4 in their last 6 games. 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, it doesn't take long when you start losing games and some teams get hot. They can pass you by very quickly.
Now, that said, let me go glass half full a little bit. Because, what'd you say, 2 and 4?
Yes.
So 2 and 4 since they beat Oklahoma City on Christmas, right?
Correct.
Couple of big wins, big December, emotional. Every team goes through a little bit of a lull.
Mm-hmm.
Every team has a stretch during the season. And they have so many young players that have to learn how to handle success. Is this just the Spurs lull? It's like when you're got your brisket out there on the smoker and you're waiting for it to get through the stall so you can wrap it. Is this the stall? And you never know where that stall is going to be.
You never know.
And you think you could time it out, but you have no idea. Is this the stall for the San Antonio Spurs? And it's frustrating when you see something like last night, which should have been a win. I know I spent time on this show yesterday talking about it's an easy win. Wemby didn't get on the plane to Memphis to not play, but they didn't need him last night. They're going to need him tonight. And I know I said this yesterday, last night's the easy win, so get him the win because even with Wemby, you might not beat the Lakers the way this team is currently playing, coming off of a back-to-back. And so you let one get away. And that's frustrating. And if they had lost the game and Wemby was on the floor, you just chalk it up to a bad night, I think. And kind of like Utah, kind of like Portland. De'Aaron Fox was off last night. I mean, when your bright spot was Jeremy Sohan, you realize that was a bad night all around. But seeing Wemby on the bench late because of a minutes restriction really tells you who's in charge, and it's not Mitch Johnson.
Well, apparently not, because I would assume that Mitch Johnson would have had him on the floor if he was able to do that. But again, if that's – I'm sure they don't just say, hey, that's it, and Mitch didn't have any clue. So he's playing 21 minutes. That's it. So manage that however you see fit. And the fact of the matter, somebody should have been keeping that time. And I'd rather him set the entire half of the fourth quarter and then to have him in the ball game for the end of it. And obviously that didn't happen, and so there's some mismanagement of that. And look, to Mitch Johnson's defense, I think he's done a hell of a job. This is not to rag on Mitch Johnson, but I just think, look, this is a unique situation that he's got to deal with. He's got to deal with it a little bit better than he did last night.
And based on some of the things that Jeff McDonald from the Express News was putting out last night, it is not as easy as it seems to manage those minutes, because you also have Wemby, who is always pushing to play more. And Wemby even said something along the lines as those guys have to be mentally strong to tell me no, because if you left it up to Wemby, he would be out there. So Wemby is saying, yeah, man, I might be difficult to work with. I might push the limits, and I can't have them just tell me yes because I want to go. They've got to be mentally. And I get all that. Last night they completely mismanaged the minutes, but the way that game was going, I don't know at what point you saw, all right, well, you could have sat him here, you could have sat him there, because unfortunately it was that kind of game, and the Spurs never really pulled away when Wemby was out there, despite the night that he was having. So I don't know that going back, and I'm not going to armchair quarterback it by saying, well, I would have pulled him at the 7-minute mark of the third quarter or the 8-minute mark of the fourth to get him back in there for the final 5. And I know that's easier to bitch about managing his minutes than actually doing it through the course of a game. But that's where I'm like, where's the leeway, right? 3 more minutes aren't going to wreck that kid's career. They're not going to 3 more minutes doesn't mean he's going to be out for the next 3 weeks. You had a winnable game. Go win the damn thing.
Well, and that's what's concerning to me. And just hearing Mitch Johnson, the quote that you just read a few minutes ago, we want him healthy for years. Well, are they afraid that he's not going to be? I mean, to me, that's concerning. So you're restricting this young man's minutes. He just turned 22 years old. 22. Think about that. I get it. He's 7 foot, whatever he is today, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure. But look, that's concerning to me that he's been on this minutes restriction because they are afraid he's going to get hurt and mess up his career. I don't know. Am I just blowing wind, or does that concern anybody else?
It concerns me, but at the same, and I'm with you. I want him to have a great long career. I also wanted an easy win in Memphis. I want to win now. It's just bizarre to me. Those 3 minutes weren't going to make it. It's not like he was at 28, 29, and the restriction was 20. Do they not have a here's the goal and here's the cutoff is 26? I don't know. And until these Spurs sports science guys, who apparently carry a lot of weight, you go back and you think about that interview we did with Sean Elliott a couple weeks ago, and he brought those guys up, and I mean, they carry a lot of weight.
Obviously, they do.
And and you got to trust what they're doing, but I want to know the whys. I would love for them to either. And it's the Spurs; they're not ever going to come on this show.
Well, of course they're not.
But trot them guys out in front of the media and explain why 3 minutes last night would have been detrimental. Why you can't. And I used the analogy earlier. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you'd come home. Your curfew was midnight and you got home at 12:10 or 12:15. Not that big of a deal.
To you it wasn't. To your parents it was.
But why? It was an artificial deadline. That's all it was, right?
It doesn't matter.
But again, it was an artificial deadline. It was just a rule. They said it, but it's not like anything bad happened other than you were late and got in trouble.
I managed my minutes better. Took care of business before that. Got home 5 minutes early.
Well,
that's what you do.
See, you were a Boy Scout.
Yeah, I was. Absolutely.
I mean,
thanks for saying
no
that,
surprise
Jason.
that you would finish early and be able to get home 5 minutes early.
I've been perfecting that motion for a long time, my friend.
I mean, 3 minutes is a long time.
Yes,
ask Joe.
That's right. What else are we going to do, honey?
3 minutes is exhausting.
Might as well go home. We'll continue to follow, and I don't mean to be a skeptic here, but That, to me, is concerning. It is that they're being this strict with this young man's time this early in his career is concerning to me. So maybe I'm the only one, but it is. John Harbaugh is the king of the hill right now when it comes to the NFL coaching searches. Everybody wants John Harbaugh, including teams, apparently, according to Adam Schefter, that still have coaches. Let's talk about that because a lot of other movement in the NFL, coaching searches, and elsewhere, by the way. We'll continue to talk about that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, or Small Friday, as we around here like to call it. Spurs had the Lakers. How'd they come out smelling, Rob?
We got football, the Fiesta Bowl,
Yes.
the frozen tundra of Phoenix. Miami of Ole Miss, we'll get you ready for it. It's going to be a huge day. Set your alarm. Get here early. Party's up to say.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
This college football season, the Crunch Time Hero of the Week is brought to you by PorkRinds.com, the nation's premier hub for pork rind lovers everywhere. Each week, a college player will post on Instagram, and each share over a 2-week period equals a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, which helps families who are dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Giving back with the perfect snack to celebrate those big Crunch Time plays. Find your rind at PorkRinds.com or find Southern Recipe pork rinds at H-E-B.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wednesday afternoon on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So happy you guys have stopped by to spend some time with us. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's Jason Minix. John Harbaugh, all of a sudden, is a big star, coaching-wise, in the NFL.
It is amazing that John Harbaugh can get fired from a job that he'd had for 18 years.
A lot of people are blasting the Ravens for that.
Well,
I'm just saying.
The same people that were saying it was time to go and that he had lost the locker room, just like Mike Tomlin. You look at a guy like Kevin Stefanski, gets fired from Cleveland and was the hottest name on the coaching market instantly until Harbaugh got fired, which makes you say, it's funny. Did Cleveland make a mistake by firing this guy since so many people are like, well, you don't want him? I'll take him. And to a degree, sometimes you lose a locker room. Sometimes the old saying, only the lead dog has a constant change of scenery. At some point, maybe you got to go and change. And I think Stefanski falls into that. Harbaugh, we could pick the job that he wants. Not like he needs the work after being an NFL head coach for 18 years. I don't think any of these guys financially need to work, but you want to work. Does he want to jump right in, or does he want to take a break? And I think for a guy like Harbaugh, you could be selective.
Absolutely.
Mike McCarthy was selective after that initial year, and taking him at his word, chose the right job. Leaves Dallas and is in line for New York. I think Harbaugh could be in line for New York, and maybe Harbaugh says, well, of all the situations, changing a culture is what he needs to do because they already have a lot of the right seemingly pieces in New York.
Yes.
They just have to change that culture.
Absolutely.
In New York.
So you're absolutely right.
Maybe you look at opportunity, says, well, I don't get a year off because next year what jobs might be open might not be as good of a situation as what you have in New York.
And you could still have some more jobs coming open. Now, I saw Todd Bowles today say that he's safe. He will be coaching next year at Tampa Bay.
He says that, but have we heard that from the owner?
I'm assuming he heard it from somebody, or he wouldn't have said it. So we'll see if that is. Miami is still in play, I would think, although I think they've been told that things are safe there. I think Buffalo could be in play if they lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you talk about a job that would be intriguing. You've already got an MVP quarterback in place, ready to go. And a team, I think, that could use some, I don't want to say culture necessarily, because I think they've done a pretty good job there, but they need something to get them over the top. Is John Harbaugh that guy? Well, I'm not sure. I just think that Harbaugh, and everybody's saying it wasn't Harbaugh against Lamar Jackson, but I think you got to take a look at that and just hear me out on this thing. John Harbaugh had an 8-4 playoff record without Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
With Lamar Jackson, his playoff record is 3-6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know who's to blame there. Is that a coincidence? Is that whatever? But, I mean, the stats don't lie.
They are facts, and how you interpret those facts could be in play. It's kind of like Buffalo. You know, Buffalo's problem is they're good at the same time Kansas City is good. You know, I mean, you could say the same thing about Peyton Manning. Should he have more rings except for that Tom Brady guy? You know, back in the 90s, you know, those great Cowboys in San Francisco battles, right? You know, sometimes it is timing. You know, Roger Staubach, how many more should he have except for those Steeler teams, right?
Jackie Smith.
Son of a... That was in the second quarter, but we all act as if that was the game was on the line, and Jackie Smith dropped
Hit him right in the gut.
Roger still has nightmares about that. I mean,
I digress.
So you look at it, but like in Buffalo, and I know there's probably some examples of you've got some good teams that are going the right way. I mean, look at Golden State. You know, they were good, changed coaches to Steve Kerr, and then won a whole bunch of trophies.
Yeah.
And then dude that was coaching is now broadcasting their games winning championships. Could Harbaugh be that for Buffalo? Just that little, we're going to do this just a little bit different in my way, and that's going to be the difference in everything. But also, Patrick Mahomes is getting older. Travis Kelce is likely done. You know, maybe Buffalo keeps Sean McDermott, and you know, Kansas City never gets back to the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes, and it becomes the Josh Allen show, right? Because of timing, you know, your ebbs and flows, and, you know, everything is a bit of a roller coaster, and I think you could apply that some to the San Antonio Spurs. You know, after they got Wemby, how quickly, and then the whole idea of skipping steps. Well, you look around the West right now, and you got some teams that look like they're going to be good for a while, but we know the way it works is they're going to be going down on that roller coaster, and you want to be in that cart that's on the way up and hit the timing of it just right. Buffalo's timing might be on that upswing, but if they lose to Jacksonville, like you said, and they make a change, we're never really going to know that answer. But in a results-oriented business, and I heard Mike Tomlin on with Rich Eisen today, and it was a fantastic interview. And he started talking about the situation. He said, in today's sports society, it is the way it is, because it is all about the results. Now, Tomlin didn't say this. I don't want to go from one thing to another after saying I heard Mike on the radio talking about it, but he understands the business in the seat that he is in.
Sure.
And if that kick had gone through, it might have been Mike Tomlin that is now the hottest guy on the coaching search, and Harbaugh is preparing for a playoff game.
Well, and it could still be Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens. If Houston crushes Pittsburgh and they lose in the first round of the playoffs again, it could be Tomlin that says, hey, I'm done. I need a change of scenery. I need a year off, whatever the case may be. I've been here too long. He's been there. I'm not sure, has he been there as long as Harbaugh was in Baltimore? Has he been there 18 years? He's been there a long time.
Those two were the longest tenured coaches, and playing in the same division, their stories are intertwined forever. I think one's at 16 and one was at 18.
So, look, that's a long time in today's NFL for a head coach to be at a team that long. And so the Harbaugh situation, even though there is a lot of criticism of Baltimore for getting rid of him, it doesn't surprise me all that much. Just because of what has happened over the last several years, yet they haven't gotten it done with a quarterback that's been the MVP a couple of times. And so the coach is going to get the blame for that, obviously. What I'm worried about Baltimore, whoever takes over that job, Lamar Jackson's eating up almost $80 million of their salary cap.
Yep.
I mean, well, you talk about Jerry Jones crying about Dak Prescott. Think about it.
The idea of what's the word I'm looking for? They're going to have to redo Lamar's contract. And there's all kinds of different things out there. I don't know what's true. I can just repeat what I've seen reported by people that I trust. Some of the reports indicate that ownership, a non-meddling owner who is involved, if that makes sense, right, and wanted some changes to the staff, offensive coordinator, and apparently Harbaugh did not want to do that. And then you get all the talk about Lamar Jackson and that hit piece that was done on him, Lamar, although Harbaugh defended that tremendously. But there were so many trade rumors because Baltimore does have to try to make a decision. Do you try to move a Lamar Jackson and that contract? What can you get in return to get out of it? Or what is likely to happen is you're going to redo that to lower that cap hit, because I think it's, $75 million?
75 and change, I think.
So you could sign him to another deal. The old Dak Prescott maneuver happening in Baltimore. Sign him to another deal for another 4 or 5 years to lower that cap hit, and that's what's likely to happen. And you have to wonder if Harbaugh was on board with that plan, and maybe those are some of the reasons why he is not there.
Yeah, it could very well be, and that may be the case. Or sometimes just, it's time. You've been there too long. It's like your uncle staying at your house a little long. You want him to get the hell out.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, and I'm trying to make fun of John Harbaugh, obviously one of the best coaches to ever coach in the NFL. And he's going to get a job if he wants a job, wherever he wants to get it, with all the teams that are out, and including, according to Adam Schefter, one team has called his agent that doesn't have a coaching opening at the moment. The speculation is it's the New York Jets.
Well, and again, I'm kind of surprised that Aaron Glenn didn't go one and done, because you look at a team that just wasn't competitive, kind of like the Raiders, not competitive, and all the stuff coming out about Pete Carroll and what he was running there, and his son as the offensive line coach that didn't know what the hell he was doing. I don't know what they were doing in New York with the Jets and Aaron Glenn, but that is a team that wasn't competitive late in the game. That is a team that set a record by not getting one interception in an entire season.
That's incredible.
Right? Now, the record is 2. So even if they got 1, they still would have gotten the record, but they had 0. I mean, not a deflected pass that landed in one of your players' hands. By accident, you should trip into 5 a year. For a defensive-minded coach, for a guy that played in the secondary, to have that on your resume, knowing how the Jets are, I could see, I wouldn't have been surprised if he was a one-and-done coach.
Well, the good news is the Jets will never lose that record. They can only get it tied.
That's it.
Their name will always be attached to that. So they got that going for them.
Go Jets. That's funny.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, it is funny. It's going to be an interesting offseason. I think, I don't think anybody's going to get hired right away, Jason, to be honest with you, because I think a lot of these coaches are going to wait and see what happens this weekend. Is there going to be an opening in Pittsburgh? Will there be an opening in Buffalo? It remains to be seen.
Well, and the one thing that we don't have this year, at least not a lot of that I've seen anyway, where like last year, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn were the big names out there, and so those guys weren't going to be available until after their playoff runs were done, and that delayed some of the hiring and the dominoes of the playoff teams. Is there a coordinator on one of those teams that everybody is waiting for that could go get that job? And, the only playoff coach that I know that has interest in some of these NFL jobs is coaching in college, and that is Curt Cignetti at Indiana. Although with the money Mark Cuban just dropped at that university, I don't know that Cignetti's going anywhere.
And I think he's got a pro team at Indiana coming back next year, all about 23-year-olds everywhere. So,
well, I think they're a little older than that because, they're old and they're rich. But, I mean, he doesn't have to deal with an NFL salary cap.
Yeah, no kidding. I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to watch. And I think the outcomes of these games this weekend will have something to say about what's open and what's not and the choices therein. So we'll continue to watch. Makes this weekend that much more enjoyable. We got a lot more to go here, a couple more hours of this show, and lots to talk about. So don't go anywhere. Keep it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're riding with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
America's best high school football players are coming to San Antonio. It's the Navy All-American Bowl at the Alamo Dome on Saturday, January 11th. Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, and Jeremiah Smith played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the stars of tomorrow at the Navy All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero. Fan Zone opens at 9:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the Dome box office and Ticketmaster.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our locations and check out the new Kubota L2502 package deal, including a four-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. From the Texas coast to the Texas Hill Country, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Okay, so your trophy's in the cabinet. Business is great. The growing pains are all in the past, and you're feeling optimistic. Now you're in big trouble. Because truth is, no matter how well you slayed your last quarter, the next one could slay you right back. And without a cohesive strategy and a scalable idea you can rely on, nothing is certain except uncertainty. Which is why for your next rodeo, you need the Next Rodeo. The Next Rodeo is a true creative partner that brings next-level creative thinking and production quality to companies who didn't believe they could afford it. So you can keep your company growing without outgrowing the dream that started it. The Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want is one great scalable idea. Get the full story at thenextrodeo.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Cowboys met with the media today, and they tell us they have not begun request interviews for their defensive coordinator position, but they do expect to start that process soon. However, they do say re-signing Javonte Williams, their running back, and Jadeveon Clowney are priorities for them this offseason. And after being fired following 18 years in Baltimore yesterday, now former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, the hottest name in the coaching search.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And we're doing it on a hump day.
Hump day?
Yeah, hump day.
Hump day?
Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a great...
What pledge?
Hope you're having a great hump day out there, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. We appreciate you making some time for us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. And
what I missed,
it's a hump day. I don't know what I missed either.
He was just very fast and clumsy on those.
That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly.
Hump day? Yeah.
His humps were a little,
Yeah, we're just having some fun on this day. Is this the first
quick.
Wednesday in January? It is, right? First hump day of the new year.
First working day of January.
Just well, let's see.
No, Wednesday was the 31st.
Yeah,
you're right. First
hump
Wednesday
day of the new year. So we're just having a little fun.
So
Pledge.
we ended the year on a hump day, huh?
We did. Hump day?
Were you screaming hump day down in Mexico?
I might have been. I don't remember.
Did you wear your shirt?
No, I didn't bring my shirt this time around. I was representing our good friends of Kingdom Collapse. I don't know if I was doing that on hump day. Representing the station. I had it's not Alpha Media anymore, but I was wearing an Alpha Media shirt.
Well, that's all right.
So,
You know what? I don't know this about you, but I kind of know this about you. You don't have a lot of T-shirts, do you?
No, I do.
Seems like all the T-shirts you wear are the free ones you get.
Dude.
The only Alpha Media T-shirt we ever got is a red one that says Alpha Cares that we were supposed to wear when we did some sort of a community service type thing.
That's the only one I have.
Yeah, so a free shirt, a Kingdom Collapse concert shirt that the boys gave you.
Why am I going to go out and buy a T-shirt? Seriously.
What do you wear at home?
Alpha Media and Kingdom Collapse.
So your free T-shirts.
Yes. The hell am I going to – I don't need to buy T-shirts. You know how many T-shirts I've given away over my years at Ken's 5 that I got for free?
Yeah.
I mean, because I just didn't have room for them anymore.
What do you mean? I got a closet full of T-shirts.
Well, that's good.
I mean,
but you buy them. They're like $100 T-shirts you buy at concerts.
Well, they're $50. But I got sport team T-shirts. I got regular I would rather be in a T-shirt. I get home, and immediately I'm in basketball shorts and a T-shirt, right? You
Sure.
get home and put on ironed pants and a new golf shirt.
No, not at all. I get home, same thing, either shorts or sweatpants, depending on the weather outside, and a T-shirt. I have
a free shirt.
No, not all of them are free, because I've got a couple of long sleeves that I bought.
All right. But you didn't take those to Mexico.
No.
Because I've seen you buy some long sleeve T-shirts at the Super Bowl. And you never wear those.
I'd have to get some. You know what I did wear? And I'm spacing on the name now. We got it at the Super Bowl from guys no longer with us, unfortunately. He used to play for the Jets. He had a barbecue place.
Oh, Nick Mangold.
Nick Mangold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wore that one.
So another free shirt.
That was a freebie.
Tells me all of Joe's wardrobe is nothing but golf shirts.
Well,
yes.
I've got a couple of cowboy shirts that I purchased at Jerry World.
Golf shirts.
Golf shirts.
Not a T-shirt.
They're T-shirts. Absolutely. I've got two of them, long sleeve.
Oh, long sleeve.
Yeah.
But not what you're wearing to Mexico.
No, I didn't wear those to Mexico.
No.
I didn't want to be embarrassed.
You just don't have any nice, debatable, what am I going to wear?
Dude, and when I'm in Mexico, I don't give a damn what those shirts look like.
But it's all you have, right? It's like today's a bad example because I'm not wearing a quarter zip. But if I'm in a quarter zip, there's a high likely that I've got a concert tee underneath it.
Sure. I've got just plain white T-shirts that I wear under those.
Okay.
That I did have to purchase. I didn't get those for free.
But you won't wear just your white T-shirt
I'm telling you
to the beach because it's too fancy of a resort to look like that guy.
I'm telling you right now.
You can't roll down there in your wife beater in your swim trunks.
No, I've got a shirt that I purchased in Cabo one year that no sleeves. I'll wear that one.
A tank top.
I wish I had it right now, I'll be honest with you. It's hotter in this damn studio than it ever was in Mexico last week.
Yeah, why is the AC out? The fact that we're bitching about the AC being out in January. And it right?
I'm looking at the thermostat over there. It says 81 degrees.
It's hotter than that.
Yeah,
this is miserable. And if the AC is out in the studio, why James Pledger, who gets here way before anybody, or Rob Thompson, or A.J. Hoffman, or Vic Brown, send a note saying, hey, boys, it's hot as hell in the studio.
Yeah.
Although, I guess in fairness to them, when they come to work, it's cold as hell outside, so they might not have noticed that the AC was out because, well, it is cold in the morning.
Is it?
Well, that's what I'm told.
I don't. It wasn't that cold this morning
Probably should have sent a message to the group last night once I noticed it was leaking up.
Well, I noticed it was leaking
this is
yesterday,
your fault,
too.
James Pledger.
Yeah.
Well, we give him credit. He's an Aggie today. It's understandable.
Although he's not totally fulfilling his agreement for his failure in the 72-ounce steak challenge. He does have a Johnny Manziel Aggie jersey on, but he's not wearing the hat today. Head to toe. Hat, shirt, every day. It's what you're supposed to be wearing.
The hats hurt with the headphones.
I haven't seen you rolling around in the building with the hat on at any point.
I haven't been rolling around in the building.
Did you not come by the office earlier?
Pledge is a suit now. He's got things to do.
It's clearly not a suit. Look at him.
I don't know if that's official yet or if that time has started yet, but we'll see that transition.
Oh, yeah. How would you know?
Well, he's going to look like our
Lance liked what I was wearing.
Well, of course, Lance is an Aggie. Did he understand why you were wearing it?
No.
Did he know that was Johnny Manziel? The answer is no. Otherwise, he wouldn't have liked it.
Is Lance still here?
Yes.
He's still roaming around?
He's
really?
retired, but he's been here every day this week.
I never see Lance.
He was here this morning.
Lance is the big boss.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
He retired.
So is he training Morgan or what? What's happening?
He's retired. I actually, he did tell me. He's like, I got 30 more days. I'm just helping with engineering stuff. Like, all right. Your wife had you home for a week over the holidays
right.
and says you've got to go somewhere.
Get the hell out of here.
Go to work.
Learn how to play golf.
Do something.
Yes.
Get out. So he just roams around the building and then leaves.
I haven't seen him because I haven't seen him since the Aggies that disaster against Miami.
Maybe he's avoiding you.
Yeah, it could be. Could very well be that he's doing that. I don't know.
Did you make a bet with him or something?
No. But, you know, I like to give my Aggie friends a hard time for that loss. That was bad. Wasn't good at all.
You Pledge a hard time for that loss. You look good in that jersey, though.
Yeah, it's a good-looking jersey. It really is. And I'm still surprised that it belongs to you.
Me too. I want it back, but me too.
Wow.
I was in the closet. I found 2 Aggie jerseys in there, actually.
Wow. Minix is a closet Aggie fan.
No,
one at 12?
No. It's a Win jersey that's autographed.
Okay.
And I said to Joanna,
what the hell's
it
doing hanging in your closet?
That's what I said to Joanna. Why wasn't this framed?
Exactly.
Why didn't I? So I think I got it, probably was going to frame it. I remember when Dad did that when he was, departing to go run Chick-fil-A. He did that for a lot of people that worked here and probably meant to go get it framed, but somehow it ended up in the guest room closet that you never go into.
And then you forgot
that's where all my jerseys are.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out what I could get Pledge Cowboy-wise, which I gave him to wear. I do need it back, although it just hangs in a closet. A game-worn Patrick Creighton jersey.
I don't know. That shirt looks like it hadn't been washed ever.
Well, it was game worn.
Oh, so you just keep it that way.
I guess.
Does
I don't know.
It stop stinking after a while?
I don't know that it smells. I think it got washed.
I'm actually pretty excited to wear that one.
You've been around football players. They all stink.
They do.
They do.
They do. I'm pretty.
After a game, because the pads, it's no.
Although
they all stink.
It does. I mean, but that jersey does look like it's been through the battles. But yeah, it's been cleaned. But I don't think you just wash it. I think you have to send those to the dry cleaner, the Johnny Manziel and that one, before you return them next week.
Yeah, I wouldn't wash those.
But it is. I mean, it's game worn. But that's why, because other jerseys, I had a lot when I was almost 300 pounds, and good Lord, they'd be. And why are they still in my closet? Which is what my wife asked.
I don't know. That's a good question.
What are you going to do with this? Well, leave them in the closet.
Yeah, I don't like to throw things away either.
Yeah.
I got shirts in there I haven't worn in 20 years.
It's not a T-shirt.
No, it's not. Probably an old golf shirt. Who knows? I don't know. You know what else is old and smelly? The Convocation Center.
Wow. 4 years on the job, and that might be your best tease in transition yet.
I'm just saying.
Congratulations, Joe Reinagel.
And I'm not the only one that thinks that. A very popular head coach in the American Conference thinks the same thing. We'll hear from him when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're having issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, your heater, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential, or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quartermoon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. Whether it's at your house, at the office, plumbing, AC, heat, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making a player pick for the first time, there's something that can't be too hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels so good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups, bowl games coming, tournament time, it is time to jump right in. When it comes to playoffs, you go with stars. Stars always produce. In the NFL, they get those stars because they're stars. And as we get closer and closer, I love Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a man alone on Buffalo. Whenever you get to the more, you go with Josh Allen. In basketball, oh my goodness, Luka is balling. You can't go wrong with Luka. And I want to tell you about a brand new part of Prize Picks. It's a new feature, early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out on those winnings before the game even finishes. I want you to go download Prize Picks and use the code Alamo, and you're going to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's Alamo for $50 in lineups, and all you got to do is play 5. Prize Picks, it's so good to be right.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, or Small Friday, as we around here like to call it. Spurs had the Lakers. How'd they come out smelling, Rob?
We got football, the Fiesta Bowl,
Yes.
the frozen tundra of Phoenix. Miami, Ole Miss, we'll get you ready for it. It's going to be a huge day. Set your alarm. Get here early. Party's up to 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. UTSA's Convocation Center. How old would you say that place is?
About your age.
You don't think I'm younger than the Convocation Center?
I don't know. I can Google it real quick.
I'm just curious. It's been around a long time. And I know it's an easy mark, low-hanging fruit to make fun of out there at UTSA. And I know that they'd like to do something about it. But, again, as we deal with NIL and they try to stay competitive in their sporting events out there, it's difficult to think about redoing or building a new arena out there. Convocation Center, however, it's not just us locally who take shots at the Convocation Center. In fact, former NBA star Penny Hardaway and now head coach of the Memphis men's basketball team, he threw a couple of shots at the Convocation Center.
And it's an easy building, as you said, to make fun of. I mean, it was old back in the early 90s. Apparently it was built in 1975.
So, yeah, I am older than that.
It's closer to my age. Wow, it's 1975, and I feel like it feels 20 years older than that.
It does, yeah.
Because back in the mid-90s when I was doing some TV for UTSA when Tim Carter was the coach.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was an old, rundown building then, in probably the worst in the Southland back then, outside of that weird stage up at UT Arlington, because they literally played on a stage in the auditorium. But apparently, yeah, they're about to celebrate their 50th anniversary. There's a whole big thing on when you Google it.
They're going to actually celebrate it?
For whatever reason.
Okay, I'm curious.
But old Penny Hardaway on his radio show actually compared it to some sort of cheerleading competition arena. I guess Memphis is about to come here and play. I don't know. UTSA men's basketball is so far down on my awareness radar right now. I can't tell you what they're doing. I do get their emails from their PR, and they lose and they lose. I don't know what the record is. But he said, quote, on his radio show, "I don't know what UTSA is. That's like an auditorium. It's not like a gym. It's like a cheerleading competition place."
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I can see where he gets that. It is like an auditorium, more so than a basketball arena, when you go in there and do that. Now, he did try to backtrack a little bit, I think, and realize what he said. He said, but I like smaller arenas, though.
Well, I mean, smaller arenas can still be good arenas. They could still be, decent places to play. Now, the Convo has a listed capacity of 4,080. Rice's building is 5,208. Tulane play in a 4,100-seat arena. FAU in a 3,100-seat arena. Memphis plays at the FedEx Forum, 18,000.
Yeah.
Right? But it's Memphis, and they're known for basketball. UTSA is not. But I remember talking with Lisa Campos when they were celebrating, hey, they're building the new practice gym and locker room space for the players. And we were like, what about the Convocation Center? When are you going to fix that? I understand that players today, along with NIL money, want facilities. And that used to be the thing. Now, I don't know what Austin Claunch does for recruiting. I do know that Steve Henson before that and Brooks Thompson before that, when they would recruit players, and they both told me this, they went everywhere except the Convocation Center with their recruits. They would take them to dinner on the Riverwalk. You would see all kinds of stuff, just not the arena, just not the Convocation Center, because that's not a selling point.
No, it's not. I found it interesting, though, as I'm reading this article from the San Antonio Express News, that apparently the UT system has approved $35 million for the Convocation Center. They did that back in February of 2024. All kinds of different ways the money is supposed to get there. But here's what I found interesting, Jason, that a potential replacement for the Convocation Center has been a source of speculation since at least 2019. They were going to build a brand new arena off Loop 1604 across from Kyle Seal Parkway. 10,000-seat arena that would be a major focal point and anchor of the athletics complex, along with a 35,000-seat football stadium. Now, that was the plan back in 2019. According to this article from the Express News, obviously neither one of those things has happened.
Well, because it would take public and private financing to get that done, is what Taylor Ramey had said, I guess, back then. I don't know. I remember hearing the talk about that. I don't want to speak out of turn because that was so long ago. I think, though, that ship has probably sailed. They do need a new basketball arena, which is a multi-purpose building. I think an on-campus stadium would be cool, but I just don't see them ever spending the money for that. And the Alamo Dome is a good home for UTSA. I mean, look at the record they have there under Jeff Traylor. Weather is never an issue. An on-campus stadium would be a lot of fun and would be cool, but as long as the Alamo Dome is a viable building, and it is, I just don't know that they would prioritize the spending. And I don't know that a donor would come up with the money for them to be able to come up with an on-campus football stadium. But a new arena should be the priority. I thought it should have been the priority over the new practice facility, because why can't that all be a part of one big construction project?
I think it could have been. I think you've got a good point there. And look, the Alamo Dome is good. The only issue I have with that, I think sometimes it's hard for students to get there. I don't know how they transport them back and forth.
They bus them.
I'm just saying it's a long way, but an outdoor stadium on campus would be hot as hell.
It would be hot, and I don't know that you would have any more students showing up. And I'll use an example of Texas State. When Texas State wasn't very good, students didn't show up. When the team got good, the students showed up. I think when you think back when UTSA was winning in Conference USA, the students were there. And to a degree, I mean, home record, they bus them. I think they still do some free pizzas for those guys.
Oh, wow.
Because I do the park and ride for UTSA football.
Right.
And every time you go on the Via Park and Ride, you go into that little area where they drop you off. There's all those student buses, and there's a lot of them there. So I do see a lot of students going to games, but I do think winning and making that a priority. When you're winning, people show up. When you're not winning, people don't show up.
Which is a whole nother battle that we've talked about many times on this show to get to a winning program and what it takes these days to get that done. And again, you have to applaud Jeff Traylor and his staff for the players that they get, the players that they keep, and the record that they have. And I know we all get disappointed about it, but and it's not better than it is. But with what he's working with, props to Jeff Traylor.
Well, that's it. And again, this crazy world of NIL and what's available, what's not. The UW quarterback, University of Washington, signed a contract for about $4 million with Washington on January 2nd, right?
Uh-huh.
And
signed the contract. And it's one of those Big Ten boilerplate kind of deals. Just insert the number here. And $4 million, and highly recruited, highly touted quarterback. He hit the portal yesterday. He signed his contract on January 2nd. Now, Washington, because it's a signed deal, does have some it looks like they're going to go after him, kind of like what the University of Georgia did for that kid that signed and then left for Missouri. But it'll be interesting to see. And I think it's the domino effect of you saw the kid sign with Texas Tech for $5 million. Wait a minute.
I only signed for 4, but that kid chose Texas Tech. LSU was in on him. Now LSU needs a quarterback. All these other quarterbacks are, all right, well, I know I signed, but hell, did somebody reach out to him and say, Lane Kiffin's going to offer you this? Although Lane Kiffin was at a basketball game the other day with Sam Leavitt, the former Arizona State quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the craziness of even if you think you've got a guy and you've signed him, you don't really have a guy. And this is where I hope the University of Washington really holds it to this kid, although I don't know if he will still be their quarterback, but can they do something to keep him from leaving or have him pay through the nose to get out of that contract?
Well, or that, or go back to the old days and say, you know what, you can't play here, you got to sit out a year. I mean, that's guys signed a contract, and those contracts are legal.
But you
can't just walk out on them.
But are they? That
yes,
becomes,
they are.
I mean, the kid at Georgia, and they're trying to sue him to get some of that money back. He still played for Missouri, right? It's going to be interesting because, I mean, January 2nd he signs. January 6th he hit the portal. What the hell?
It's ridiculous what's going on. I mean, look, and I'm all for the players getting paid, and college football is what it is, and it's a lot of fun. But, I mean, at some point in time, you got to honor your word. And if you're signing a contract that, to my understanding, just reading about this particular kid, at least the University of Washington believes it's legal, and that's why they're going after this kid.
Well, and again,
they may not release him, and I don't know how that works either. It's an article I read before, and if they don't release him, I don't think he's eligible to hit the portal.
Well, and again, but do you want him back?
Well, no, but I want to make damn sure that he can't go somewhere else.
But again, I mean, how much of this is, all right, because he was so committed to Seattle and playing for UW and playing for the coach who he followed Fish from Arizona to UW when Kalen DeBoer left UW to go to Alabama. But then all right, $4 million, that's going right. Somebody got $5 million. Well, hell, did I settle for too little? And then if you see somebody else reportedly getting X, do you feel like, all right, well, my rate should be this now? I don't know how coaches deal with it right now. I really have no idea how they do this.
And it's so different than anything else. You sign a contract here, and I don't know, a couple days later, X radio station says, hey, Jason, come over here.
Well,
we're going to pay you double what they're paying you. That ain't flying.
I wonder if there's any kind of legality about, after 30 days you can get out of this after, you know what I mean? How long is that a binding deal? Is it immediate?
Well, I would assume it's for the year.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying, though, is there an out if you decide to change your mind in the time frame, whatever that terminology is. I'm not a lawyer.
We're going to find out because UW is going to sue this kid. And so we'll find out if he's got rights or if he doesn't at this point in time. I mean, even, you're in college, at least, it's a teaching moment, is it not?
Well,
when they get out in the real world, because not all these kids are going to play NFL football. They're not. And you get out in the real world, you sign a contract, say, I don't really want to honor that. I'm going to leave. You're going to get your pantsuit off.
I'm curious. I know there's a term for it, and I'm drawing a blank. Somebody on the YouTube help me out. Like if you buy something, a major purchase.
3 days.
Is it 3 days?
3 days.
And you decide, all right, you buy a new car, and after 3 days you decide, you know what, this ain't right for me, or I went home and I did my math, or I checked the insurance, I can't do this. I think there's that 3-day grace period. Now my lawyer neighbor just texted me a word I don't even know how to pronounce. Recession? Is that the right word? Am I saying it the right way?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not sure what you're looking at or how he used it.
What is that word? He put it in quotations, too. I knew there'd be a
rescission.
Rescission?
Rescission.
The hell does that mean?
Well, I guess you can rescind the contract or back out of it.
Buyer's remorse, whatever.
I think you have 3 days on a major purchase, is my understanding.
Period. So he waited 4 days, so he loses that. It's just dumb. It's just all dumb.
Well, it is, and I mean, dude, you're making $4 million. You know how many players that came before you would love to have made $4 million?
I don't think
they didn't make diddly squat.
You can't look at it that way.
I
because
can look at it that way.
The times have changed. But if you found out that you signed a deal for $4 million and somebody else signed for $5 million and somebody else is getting $6 million, wouldn't you want to try to go get $6 million? Didn't you feel like $4 million isn't enough?
So here's this is according to Ross Dillinger, according to the article I'm reading. The deal was written on a template document used by the other members of the Big Ten Conference and includes the prohibition of a player from entering the portal once the deal is signed.
Okay, so immediate.
Immediate. He also reports that the contract prohibits the player's NIL rights to be used by any other schools. And it says this does not prevent the player from signing outside marketing agreements. So that deal is that deal. If he wants to go to Ancira and do commercials for them, he can do that on the outside. But you can't just say, X school over there is offering me $5 million, so screw your contract, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
It's just it's a mess. It continues to be a mess, and more of these things are coming up. What was it you were telling me about some dude at Colorado? Was that you that was telling me that?
Oh, one of the big boosters at Colorado is tired of writing money and not getting any return on the investment.
And because kids leave.
Well, yeah,
there's
because
no loyalty.
Lack of loyalty, but also lack of results. You look at Mark Cuban, wrote a big old check apparently to Indiana last year. They're in the playoffs, about to go win a championship, and he didn't say how much this year, but he said they're a lot happier this year at his alma mater, right? Texas Tech, Cody Campbell, we're doubling down. Boy, we got a little taste of this. We're going to double down and go get it. So I think you're going to have universities like Texas Tech or Indiana that have people willing to write those checks because they're loving the result that they're getting. And then you're going to have other rich people like what you're seeing in Colorado saying, well, this is dumb. And I give you the money and you're out. And I know UW, they got a lot of rich. You ever been to Seattle and some of those areas? They got a lot of people that are writing checks up there, but they see stuff like this. It's a turnoff. It's a turnoff.
Oh, absolutely.
And what you're seeing at a place like UTSA, which makes Jeff Traylor's job even harder because he doesn't have guys like that. And so when you do see the guys that are bolting and you feel like the lack of loyalty, you wonder no matter what you're donating, is it ever going to be enough to get UTSA where we all want UTSA to be?
Well, look, in college football right now, it's just like anywhere else. Everybody wants to win, and they're going to up the amount as much as they can to try and steal players. And, again, the problem that Jeff Traylor told us about, that you don't even know if some of these numbers are real.
Yep.
I'm going to offer you $4 million. You get there, and we couldn't quite come up with that. It's only going to be $2 million. So it's just a mess right now. It really is. And the NCAA doesn't seem to be in any hurry to do anything about it whatsoever.
It's the adults, man.
Well, exactly. And until they fix it, it's a disaster. Although right now, I mean, I have to admit, college football is probably more fun than it's ever been. And you've got a team like Indiana that's in the Final Four of the championship. That to me is pretty exciting. I just don't think it's sustainable.
No, I don't know how much he's getting, but Devin McCune from UTSA just committed to Ohio State.
Wow.
Wide receiver U.
Well, we just had another one, too. Tight end Patrick Overmeyer is going to transfer to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say what he's making.
Didn't he go? Didn't they also lose a tight end to A&M?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
UTSA's taken a big hit this year.
Yep.
They really have. I don't know exactly what it is, but there have been a lot of players up and leave and get into the portal and go somewhere else. So interesting times, certainly, in college football. Interesting times for the Dallas Cowboys, who held their end-of-the-year press conference today. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Brian Schottenheimer. We'll hear from all of them when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I got to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing and Solar. You know, I love talking about Stevens Roofing and Solar because, well, they're just good folks. They really are good folks. Family-owned company, local company, a company that's been in business in San Antonio since 1983. I want you to just think about that for a minute. 1983, they've been in business. Look, I don't have to tell you, I don't have to tell anyone what that means. They're doing it right because if they're not in business that long. There's no way. They've got a long list of satisfied customers, and now they are doing solar. Stevens Roofing and Solar. If you've been thinking about solar panels, and now's the time to do it because you want to get them in place and ready to go before the summertime gets here, and we've got all that sunshine that you can use with your brand new solar panels. If you want to do that, give Stevens Roofing and Solar a call, 210-785-0994. Tell them what you want to do, how you want to do it, and they'll put a plan in place, and they'll get it done, and you know they're going to get it done right. If you think you got a problem with your roof, you want to get that checked out, guess what? Stevens Roofing and Solar, call them, 210-785-0994. They'll send a crew out to your house. They'll inspect your roof for free, and they'll let you know if there are any problems, and if there are, they will certainly be happy to take care of those for you. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business. Give them a call, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
There's a reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at 656-PURE. I'll even let you try a Connecticut water system for free. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
License number 38961.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, college packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The porkrinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the crunch time hero college football post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG DMG pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Uncover the root of your problems and improve the quality of your life. I'm Dr. Torres from the Institute for Functional Health. For more than a decade, we have helped people restore energy, vitality, libido, and drive. Most patients come to us because they feel unheard or stuck. Schedule your Discovery Day. We'll talk about your history, run advanced testing, and build a personalized plan that fits your life. We have helped thousands of people just like you. Call 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 210-468-1891.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
I want to thank you, Jason. You're a hell of a nice guy. You know it?
I am.
Minix goes, I don't know where he went.
Bathroom.
Hope you washed your hands. Brought me back a couple of Starburst. That was nice of you.
There's candy in there on the table.
I appreciate that.
Like Halloween.
And they're not the yucky cherry ones.
Oh, those are the best ones. That and yellow.
No, the cherries are not. Now, you got strawberry here and lemon. And I like those. Those are good.
Pink is strawberry?
I think so. Yeah, strawberry says right there.
All right.
How about that?
Good.
So I appreciate that. You're
Sure.
a nice guy. That's Jason Minix, by the way.
Got some sweet tarts.
Oh,
Haven't
nice.
had those in a long time.
It's been a while.
Those are good.
Who brought all the candy?
Who the hell knows?
That's crazy.
There's candy in there.
Wow.
So you get it while it's there.
Maybe it's the air conditioner guys.
I doubt it. Oh, there might have been. They ate all the other candy because they ain't fixed the AC yet. And now they're not even out there in the hall working. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but
gotta get apart.
I tell you, the working conditions.
The real quick before we get into the Cowboys, the ESPN ratings are out for bowl season. Everybody that said nobody watches bowl games or nobody cares about bowl games, these numbers say, yeah, they do. The Texas Longhorns' big win over Michigan in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, the number one top most watched game, 9.1 million viewers, peaked at 15.
Wow.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl was 8.7, peaked at 10. Looking down, the Alamo Bowl, USC TCU at number 6, 4.9 million, peaked at 6.4 million. UTSA and FIU is at number 11, 3.1 million, peaked at 4.8 million. They're number 11 out of 33. The Xbox Bowl with Missouri State and Arkansas State, 457,000 watched, peaked at 644,000.
You know, I'm surprised with the UTSA game, although and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but UTSA kicked their ass.
They did, which, I mean, you saw the peak and then went from there. I mean, for example, the Armed Forces Bowl with Rice and Texas State had 1.8 million, peaked at 2.1. UConn Army was at 1.8, peaked at 2.6. You look at what UTSA was exposed to in that big bowl win, and great, far better exposure to go play in that bowl game for UTSA than I think UTSA probably thought going into it. I mean, especially when you look at, you know, these bowls in the 20, like the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, 1.7 and peaked at 2.2. Part of that is you were in that window when what else was going on and there were no other game, and people want to watch good football, and they watched until it wasn't worth watching anymore because UTSA completely dominated after falling down 14-0.
I know it, which was crazy. I watched that game, and I'm going, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
Coach, trailer, what's happening? It's you're down 14-0, but it was 14-14 before you kind of got back to your seat.
So UTSA and FIU's number 11. Number 12 was Nebraska-Utah, which had 3 million, peaked at 4.1. The Texas Bowl was at 13. LSU in Houston. I think that was a Saturday night game.
Wow.
2.9 million, peaked at 3.6.
Huh.
More people watched UTSA kick the crap out of FIU than LSU Houston. Bigger brands.
That's impressive, and I'm happy for UTSA. That's good, and I'm happy for the bowl games. Period.
Yeah,
because everybody, you know, with the playoffs going on, you're thinking, well, bowl games are just a thing of the past, and they're gonna die a slow death. And judging by the ratings, they're not, and it's good to see.
Yep. And again, I think, do they lack the excitement and the anticipation that they once did? Yes. Are they as much fun for the coaches and the players as they once were? Probably not. Do they still get a bunch of swag? Yes.
Yes.
We as fans still love to watch football. And all the crap going on in college football that seemingly everybody hates doesn't matter when the game kicks off.
Sure, it's football.
Yep.
And we all like football. And, boy, we got some good football coming up this week. Can't wait. College football starts tomorrow night. You got Ole Miss and Miami. And then, of course, you can come join us. On Friday.
Bubba's 33 in Alamo Ranch location as we get ready for Indiana, Oregon with our friends from Flight by Yingling.
We're going to broadcast.
Friday.
Yeah. We're going to broadcast from 2 to 6 out there at Bubba's 33, Alamo Ranch. So make your plans now. Come on out and start your weekend early with us and our friends from Flight by Yingling.
And maybe by then the Cowboys will have a new defensive coordinator.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
I doubt it, but maybe.
Well, the fact that they fired one already, I was wondering if on Flight Friday would we find out that Flus got fired on a Flight Friday.
Apparently Jerry wanted to do it before he got on the podium today. So he'd have some news to share, to talk about.
I just think they knew that they certainly needed to make a change. It is interesting when you think about what the Cowboys said today in their obit for the 2025 football season. And really a lot of focus on next year, and that does start with defensive coordinator. And Brian Schottenheimer, just listen carefully to the words Schotty chooses to use in looking for his new next defensive coordinator. Like, this next guy needs to be a little bit more of a teacher.
Yeah, I think John, a teacher. I love what Jerry said. We want to cast a wide, net of candidates and find someone that's a great teacher, a great communicator. You guys know me; you're around me a lot. I'm full of energy and love what I do. I think someone that's passionate about football, but the ability to take what is complicated information. What we ask our players to do in all three phases is complicated. We want guys that can say complicated information in a simple manner. And if I say something to you that you don't understand, I need the ability to say it a different way. The same message, but say it a different way, because how you learn might be different than how Nick learns or how Ed learns. And I think that's the starting point for me.
Interesting. So a guy that can be a teacher and not Eberflus.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, again, do you take that and say, Flus wasn't a good teacher? The other word that he used when looking for a defensive coordinator, he uses the term flexible.
At the end of the day, we've had this conversation a lot. The best coaches, in my opinion, are flexible. So we're not going to pigeonhole ourselves and say, hey, we have to be 3-4, 4 down, whatever it is. I mean, I've been in the West Coast system, the digit system. Hell, I played for Steve Spurrier in the fun and gun, right? Good coaches take their players that they have. They've got an identity. They take their players and they fit their players into the model that fits what they do well. And that's why I go back to what I said earlier. You're looking for a teacher. You're looking for a guy that has the ability to instruct and get guys to believe and get guys to buy in. We're salesmen. When you're up there in front of the players, you're selling them on why what you're doing offensively, defensively, special teams, why it's going to work. And part of that's your personality, part of it's your ability to communicate. But when we cast this wide net to go find the right guy for this job, which we will find, no question about it, it's going to be the things that Jerry was talking about, but also the flexibility of, hey, we can do different things, because those are the things that, when I talk with Jerry and Steven, those are the things that cause us problems, the flexibility and some of the unknowns and things like that.
And it makes sense. And the knock on Eberflus was he was not flexible. It was his way or the highway.
Well, that's it. So as Stephen Jones tried to explain, what is the timeline of finding the new defensive coordinator?
We haven't made any requests yet.
Oh, good.
Obviously, when we get ready to do that, we'll make those and, go through the proper channels, to communicate with these people. And but we're still making the decisions on who we want to bring in here for interviews.
Do you have a working time, though?
Yeah, I think this week, as this week goes along, we'll probably get to a point where we're sending those request forms in.
All right, well, that's good news. He said this week. There's only 2 days left in this week, so expect some interviews perhaps next week.
Think about what these dudes just said.
Uh-huh.
We want to cast a wide net.
Sure.
But we want to narrow down the list who we want to spend time with. That's not casting a wide net.
Well, I think he wants to start sending out requests at the end of the week. That doesn't say that he's only going to send out 2 or 3. Could be a wide net of requests.
But why are we waiting? Other teams are already doing interviews. We know this. And what if somebody that might be on their list gets a job somewhere else because they interviewed, and don't let them out of the building, kind of like if you're casting a wide net, why are we have a meeting trying to whittle down the list? If your name's on the list, send in the request. Do it right then. Why are we waiting? Right? Unless, I only have so many hours in the day to do interviews, so I don't want to waste my time with somebody I really don't want to talk to. So we're really not casting a wide net. We're going to call people that we know and we're familiar with, and we're going to bring them in, and one of them is going to get the job.
Sounds reasonable. It sounds like the Cowboy way.
Well, it does.
Exactly what it does.
And again, and with Jerry, a lot of times, he likes that coordinator position to be a former head coach. But is that actually a requirement?
No, yes.
What?
Yeah, you ask a good question. And no, yes. No, it's not a requirement, having been a head coach. And yes, it's possible to have a first-time coordinator.
Oh, wow. Well,
yeah.
See, I like that. I really do. I mean, if I'm a Cowboy fan, you want these guys to bring in a defensive line. Look what Ben Johnson's doing. Look what Lee and Cohen are doing. First-time head coaches. Now, they were coordinators before, but they had to be first-time coordinators, and they came up there. Find some hidden talent.
Well, you could do that. Don't you think the Jets thought the same thing when they hired Aaron Glenn?
Well, sure.
The Cowboys have a first-time head coach, not in the playoffs.
It's the Jets, first and foremost.
We're talking about the Cowboys.
Well, and there's that. But look, Schottenheimer, I think everybody agrees. We'll give this guy a passing grade for his first year.
Yes.
I think he did a pretty good job. I think he held some people accountable. I think he did all the things that you're supposed to do. That defense was just horrible. Now, who you want to blame for that? Obviously, Eberflus is the fall guy. But, I mean, the defense was bad. The offense put up enough points to win games. Defense just couldn't hold them under that. And that was the problem. And that's why they're making the change, and that's why I honestly believe. And I will say this again. I think Jerry, and maybe I'm a little bit too pro-Jerry on this, but I think Jerry's going to do some things that's going to surprise everybody. In free agency, I think they're going to concentrate on the defense in the draft. And I think you're going to be very happy with it.
I don't know, because, I mean, the biggest surprise, apparently he's running another country now.
Trump just said it. I'm running. Venezuela.
It's a bad joke, Jerry.
Seriously.
Schotty's laughing his ass off.
Schotty had everything to do with hiring that Eberflus last time, and that's not done as a negative. It had no way in the world he's here if Schotty didn't want him here. Okay, let me be real clear about that. And he can tell you in his own words there, no way in the world if Stephen didn't want him here. But I particularly had a party when we got him to have him come in. And I was excited about having the uniqueness of his staff. And so I say to our fans, the way we've done it, I'll assure you that the way we've done it in the past, that alone will cause me not to do it that way now. That alone. That's simple logic. If whatever we've been doing to do it in the past there, we need to change that, that'll happen. That's what you have to do when you're doing it, making the ultimate calls. We'll make it the same way that we've made all of the calls around here on staff. I wouldn't make a call if Stephen didn't agree with the call. I wouldn't make a call if we're involved with a player and somehow Will wasn't involved in the decision of making the call. I wouldn't do that. And by the way, those guys and me, we take a lot of opinion. If you want to criticize me for anything, it is that maybe I should make a lot of uninformed calls or contribution to the decision calls. But I've done it with consistency since the day I walked through the door here. We'll do it the same way as we hired Flus. We'll do it together and come up with as good as we can.
Interesting what he said there, because he said at one point in time, if we need to change up the way we've been doing it, we'll do that. And then he ends that soundbite saying we're going to do it the same way we've always done it.
He's just got to quit that.
Why would Jerry just said, why would we change? What we do works. I throw out an idea, people agree with me. It's called a collective decision.
Sure.
Eberflus.
That's a great call, Jerry. Eberflus, yes. He was just
Stop it.
Disaster in Chicago, but yes.
Stop it.
Oh, my gosh.
I have all the authority in the world.
Mm-hmm. He does.
And apparently he runs Venezuela now.
Yeah, somebody needs to. Why not the executive of the year, Pledge? Come on. He can get those oil wells going. He's landman, isn't he? The big movie star these days.
I mean, he signed Kenneth Murray. He should have that
Stop
year.
That was Eberflus. That was his fault. It wasn't Jerry's
He's just got to quit that.
Well, it was a collective decision.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Do you think I'm an idiot?
No, Mr. Jones, we do not. I know there's a bunch of NFL coaches running around that are looking for jobs. There's a lot of openings in the NFL, and perhaps even some teams that don't have openings are looking for new coaches. We're talking about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And we will get into the Spurs in a bit as well. They got a big game tonight against the Lakers after losing a ridiculous game last night to Memphis, man. And last night, De'Aaron Fox was not good. My pick'em entry at Underdog did not turn green. Thank you, De'Aaron Fox. You want to win money, you got to be playing on Underdog, the best place to get in on all the action, make your picks, and win money in Texas. It's easy and it's fun. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Now, De'Aaron Fox let me down last night. I have him on my pick'em entry today right now with a 50% profit boost, higher than 20.5 points. Julian Champagny, higher than 2.5 3-pointers made. Well, get all your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting weak is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
I just went to Staples. They have great prices on everything, like ink, toner, printers, paper, and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select HP printers.
Up to 30% off HP printers? Am I on a hidden camera show?
No.
Well then, let's go Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Ends 1/31. Select models only.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. You know, people say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water station when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
ConnecticutSA.com.
This right here, this is a call to the ones who don't back down. To the risk takers who defied the warnings. To the ones who lost sleep in pursuit of a dream. To all the nut jobs who mortgaged the house and the crazies who bet the farm to start up a business. We want to be your next partner. Because no matter how far you've come or how much you've grown, there's always the next chapter, the next level. And now, there's the next rodeo. The Next Rodeo is a creative partner that brings world-class thinking to companies with grit, heart, and hustle. Companies just like yours. The next rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want is one great idea. Get the full story at thenextrodeo.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs fell to the Memphis Grizzlies 106-105 last night. Wemby did his part, as long as he was on the floor. Returned from that hyperextended knee, scored 30 points in 21 minutes. Spurs are back in action tonight. They'll welcome in the L.A. Lakers into the Frost Bank Center. Tip-off there set for 8:30. How about Mike McCarthy could be back in the NFL? There are multiple reports that say the Giants have arranged an interview with Mike.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Happy hump day, everybody. Even you, Jerry. Happy
Well,
you're
you
here
just
with
got
us
to quit that.
on this Wednesday afternoon. Here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. And, well, what a week it's been, man, with, coming in here, reacting on Monday to all the football stuff. And then you got John Harbaugh getting fired yesterday, and then Jerry and company having their press conference today. What a week.
Yeah, well, and again, the week is just getting started, it feels like, because
That's right.
the college football playoffs continue Thursday night, Friday night. You can listen to both games here on 94.1, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. In fact, Friday, we're going to be live with our friends from Flight for a Flight Friday over at Bubba's 33 Alamo Ranch location, getting ready for what looks like could be the best game. Right? No offense to what we're going to see tomorrow night, but Indiana has captured the hearts of America.
Yeah, they really have. How good is Oregon? I think we're going to find that out. I'll rephrase that. Oregon's obviously good, but are they Indiana good? Because I think that team right now is firing on all cylinders. And the way that quarterback is playing, Mendoza, he is just he's certainly opening eyes in the NFL.
Well, he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. But what I find when you think about, and nobody thinks about football when you think about the University of Indiana. You think about Bob Knight and throwing chairs.
That's right. Yep.
But one of the betting companies, and I'm trying to find the email, sent a deal about, I don't know, Twitter, Meta, hashtags, and all this other stuff about who is rooting for what, right?
Yeah.
And the entire country is rooting for Indiana based on all the geotagged fan hashtags. Indiana, 42 states are rooting for Indiana. 5 states are rooting for Oregon, Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, and Utah. And then people in Washington State, the neighbors to Oregon, they want nothing to do with the Ducks doing well.
That's a big rivalry, huh?
Yeah, huge. Ole Miss, there are 2 states rooting for Ole Miss, Mississippi and Alabama.
Wow, Alabama.
Well, I think after Indiana destroyed Alabama, the university, they can't root for those guys. And there's 1 state rooting for Miami. Florida.
It is amazing, and I'm looking at a picture of the map that you sent and was sent to you, and it's all red. I mean, the majority of the country is rooting for Indiana, and I understand it. Look, I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want good games, and I hope both of these games are close. I hope they come right down to the wire. But I would celebrate an Indiana national championship.
Like buy a T-shirt, celebrate?
No, I'd go, yay, good for them.
You'd go what?
It just depends on who I have money on, Minix. You know me better than that.
Did you say yay?
Yay, good for you, Indiana. Now have fun in Las Vegas, Kirk Signetti.
Well, I don't think he's going anywhere, not with the money Mark Cuban is pouring into that university. It's weird, though, with these 4 teams. Now, My niece's husband has been duckboying my phone since he was in high school, right? He's all Oregon. Would I love to see him get to watch his team win a national championship? Of course. Will I root for Oregon because of that? Yeah, it depends on where my money's at. Indiana is just such a great story. Ole Miss, just to go double birds up to Lane Kiffin for what he did, I kind of like to see Ole Miss win. And I can only imagine what would go through and what Michael Irvin might do if Miami wins on Thursday night. So there's some reasons to kind of root for all of them. And you don't have sport hate for any of these teams.
No, you really don't. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I should have looked this up before I'm saying this. Only team in the Final Four that's won a national championship is Miami,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
The other three have not.
Yes.
So if you're looking at that and you want to see a different one or a first-timer, then you go Ole Miss, Indiana, or Oregon.
When was the last time Miami won a national championship? I think Larry Coker was the coach.
Well, I think it was, early 2000s?
Yeah, Larry Coker was the coach.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they've won one.
Yeah.
The other guys have not.
Yeah, but again, it's so long ago. It's like talking about the Cowboys and Super Bowls.
True.
I mean, that was so long ago. But, I mean, these players weren't alive.
Michael Irvin was.
He's not currently playing. He's
Well,
out of
that's true.
eligibility.
Yes.
Although he's more active on the sideline than most of the players in the game.
I guarantee you.
I want what he's having.
Yeah.
Or actually, I don't. I kid. But I think they're going to be good. But I think there could be a difference. This might have to be a poll question tomorrow. Who are you rooting for? And that could be different than who you think will win.
Right.
Because I think we're all rooting for Indiana. Unless you have an allegiance to one of these schools, because it is just such a great story. Mendoza, and I know people make fun of him because he sounds like all his answers are Chat GPT, AI kind of answers when he's talking. But I just love the way Indiana plays football. You know what they don't do? They don't make mistakes. I was seeing some analysis on them earlier today. They fumbled on the 18th play of the first game. They have not fumbled since then.
That's incredible.
They don't commit turnovers. They don't commit penalties. They're a well-coached, disciplined football team.
Absolutely.
They block up well. They were doing this thing on Get Up this morning. You know, same defensive look. Kind of ran the same play, but Mendoza was able to move the pocket the way they blocked it up. I mean, they just play fundamentally sound football.
They really do on both sides of the ball. And what I love about Mendoza, he is one of those guys that obviously he's a hell of a quarterback physically, but he's got the mindset for it. And he reads the field very well, and just he's a smooth operator. And that's why I do think he's going to be a successful NFL quarterback, because I think he's already got the IQ for it. And he's going to get in there, and depending on who the coach is for Las Vegas, if that happens to be where he goes, which I think most people think that will happen, it's going to be interesting to see how they improve him, because I think he's NFL ready right now. As far as I'm concerned, just watching that young man play.
It's just going to be so much fun. Again, Thursday night is Miami and Ole Miss. Ole Miss with some of LSU's coaches.
Some will be there, yes.
And some will not. It's just so bizarre that they're having to deal with that. I love the quote from Pete Golding. He was confirming that Joe Cox and George McDonald are the two offensive coaches who will not be with Ole Miss for the Fiesta Bowl. Quote, do they want to be here? Damn right they do. But notes LSU has 35 players in the portal, and they have jobs that they're being paid to do. I love the fact that he said, yeah, they'd rather be here than, I don't know, the place where they're actually getting paid now.
You know, I'd probably rather be there too, because you think about it. And you look at Lane Kiffin, and if by some reason Ole Miss wins the whole thing, you've got to give Lane Kiffin a hell of a lot of credit. You have to. He put that team together. Whether you like him or not, he deserves some credit for that.
He deserves all the credit except for the ability to call himself a national championship coach.
Absolutely.
Or get a ring.
True. I agree with
that. But Lane Kiffin will get all the credit for putting together a roster and a staff that can get it done. But I look at the coaching that Pete Golding did against Georgia. Late in that game, he stayed calm.
Yep.
In his first real test as a head coach, because I know he has 2 under his belt. One was against Tulane, and that game was over at kickoff. But in that game, when they were down, watching Pete Golding keep everybody calm. He wasn't calling offensive plays, but his calmness had an effect. And I don't know what all decisions he was required to make, but that team responded well to Pete Golding. But to your point, I think Lane Kiffin will get credit, and he'll claim credit.
Absolutely, he
but
will.
He can't call himself a national championship coach,
No.
and he can't get a ring.
No.
He'll get the bonus money from LSU for it.
He will.
But he does deserve credit for putting together a team.
No doubt.
That could win. The irony is kind of like hearing Pete Golden saying, yeah, they'd rather be here. Well, of course, because they're in a championship run.
And they were a part of putting that team together.
Yes, and Lane Kiffin bolts to go to a place that he felt like he had a better chance to win, and now Ole Miss might win it all.
Well, they certainly have a good opportunity. By the way, J.J. Pettis just tweeted out that Golding has hired UTSA defensive backs coach Patrick Toney as his defensive coordinator.
Wow.
How about that? So Golding coached at UTSA.
Yep.
Then Patrick Toney as well. So there you go. It's going to be very UTSA-like at Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss and at Kentucky.
That's right.
All right. Well, Will Stein heading there.
How about that? Good. That's awesome. You got a little Jeff Traylor coaching tree starting to branch out.
That's it.
Nice. Very nice.
That's it. Crazy, crazy stuff. Real quick on our YouTube channel, resident Texan fan, Josh Jimenez says, you all should do something for the Texans event at the Alamo on Saturday at 11. I don't know anything about a Texans event at the Alamo Saturday at 11. Give us some more detail. We'll put it out there.
Absolutely. I don't know if I'll be there, but
I know I won't be there. I'll be in the Alamo Dome.
We'll mention it. Pledge isn't even going.
Did you even know about it? You're our resident Texan fan.
I'm busy on Saturday.
Well, I know you're busy. You're going to be here working because we got the Navy All-American Bowl. But that said, the fact that you don't know about it, I thought all the Texans fans had a group chat. You're not on the Texans text chain?
They didn't put me on the text chain.
Son of a...
Wow, that's unbelievable, Joshua. I can't believe you left Pledge out.
I mean, you've got to be the highest profile Texan fan in San Antonio. I know Cleto Rodriguez might claim that, but he's not. You are. And they don't include you on that? That's crazy.
Wow.
That's disappointing.
Joshua, you need to rectify that, buddy. Get Pledge's name on that chain.
I know. I mean, I know Pledge is going to show up for that playoff game on Monday night wearing cowboy gear.
That'll be fun.
Loving every minute of it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Or he could wear the Eddie George Titans jersey out there that night. Either one.
If looks could kill.
Stop it. Yeah, outstanding. Let's talk NFL coaches because Albert Breer is reporting something about a potential candidate for the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator position. Let's talk NFL coaching searches and movements and all of that stuff when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, it's January. You want to get real about your health. You can do that with Synergenics and Low T Center. And you talk about real. In today's AI world, you don't know what's real. You can't trust your eyes half the time with what you're seeing on social media, but I can tell you what is real. Your health and what the experts at Synergenics and Low T Center can do to change your life for the better. If you've been dealing with symptoms of low testosterone, which means you're constantly tired, you are struggling to focus, you're just not feeling like yourself, Synergenics and Low T Center, you can go there, meet with a real provider, not a chatbot on a website. They are experts at offering superior medication, service, and support, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. They have clinics all over San Antonio. You can walk in and meet with a real provider about your symptoms and your health goals, and they will create a treatment plan for you. They give you the power then to choose if you want to be treated in the clinic or receive at-home treatment, but it does start in the center with a free, simple TRT test. The on-site lab there means you're going to get your results in about 20 minutes. You don't have to wait for days like at other places. And it's not just for men. Ladies, they can help you out as well. And for a limited time, the women's hormone test is only $99. Normally, it's $299. So don't wait. Take advantage of the offer and change your life for the better. Get started by going to the website, getmyhealthfix.com. That's getmyhealthfix.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or my website, alawyerforus.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in San Antonio without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in San Antonio for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. San Antonio is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in San Antonio and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
In the automotive industry, time and trust mean everything. Miss an electrical problem, and it can mean big problems for your operation. That's why Napa believes in testing the 5 critical components in every vehicle: the battery, starter, alternator, relay, and serpentine belt. And why we deliver the parts, tools, and expertise you need to catch problems before they become breakdowns. So test every vehicle and trust the name that keeps your bays busy and your business moving full speed ahead.
Never know how. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Howdy, San Antonio. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're locked on the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, some interesting stuff. Like we got the update on the Texans event. I know you were anxious to see that. Texans are going to be coming to the Alamo Saturday, January 10th from 11 a.m. to noon. They're going to be bringing some of the Texans cheerleaders and be giving away Swarm City Connect hats. So there you go. If you're a Texan fan, you want to go down there. And afterwards, they're going to have a group photo. So you can probably do that on a phone because there'll be, 5 or 6 of them there.
I mean, let's see. Houston,
Pledge is not amused.
Saturday, January 10th. What is Swarm City Connect hat?
Well, there's a
Those
picture.
Those the ones
of them
they
there,
can't sell?
Is that Rio Grande Valley Is that what that says?
You know what? I kind of like, they got RGV and they've got SATX in that H logo.
Okay.
Actually looks pretty cool.
Not bad.
I like that.
Yeah.
They've done this before. So I'm glad the Houston Texans are doing some outreach, because it doesn't feel like they've done a ton of outreach in the Alamo City since way back in the day when we were the Texans affiliate and would do stuff every year with players in town, cheerleaders in town, and then Bill O'Brien kind of ran everybody off. But then, and I'm not trying to hammer the Texans, I'm just telling the truth, they realized they don't own Harris County yet. And they started focusing more on Houston as opposed to hitting San Antonio, the Valley, and Austin.
Well, the Oilers tried like hell, too. You remember that. They tried like hell. And even as successful as they were at times, they just could not get inroads into San Antonio.
Remember training camp when they used to do that over at Trinity, and literally you could walk out there and kind of stand on the field while they were doing stuff.
Pretty much. There were never a lot of people out there. But being in TV at that time, we go out there and cover it. I mean, you had a pro football team doing training camp in your city, and but it was very easy to get interviews, and there was never a problem with fans getting in the way of the camera.
No, it's crazy, and it's unfortunate. So, quite honestly, and don't be greedy, they say only one hat per person. I hope that there are a lot of people disappointed that they didn't get a hat because they're only bringing 100 of them. I really do. And you know what, boys? Go down there to the Alamo, take your picture, get your hat, and then head over to the Alamo Dome and watch the Navy All-American Bowl, and then stick around for the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero.
Yeah, that game kicks off at noon, right?
12:30.
12:30.
12:30.
Okay.
Broadcast starts at noon. 12:30 kickoff on NBC and of course here on 94.1, and then the San Antonio All-Star Game kicks off at 5:30.
Next Texan could be in that game. And C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson both played.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Could very well be.
That is the craziest thing when you think about the Navy All-American Bowl. The players that were here that are going on and playing big-time football, and then from there into the NFL. When you look at the Heisman Trophy winners, the Heisman Trophy finalists, the Super Bowl champions, just all of it. It is pretty incredible what they've been able to do for well over 20 years, putting on this All-American Bowl, and the talent that comes to San Antonio before heading off to college. And most of them in town have all their stuff, and they're going straight from here to whatever university they've got to go to.
Dude, there's a long list of NFL stars that came to San Antonio to play in this game. A long list. I mean, there's a lot of people there that did that. And so over the years, you got to see them first.
The hit rate's crazy for that game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So it's they choose them wisely, that's for sure, when it comes to the All-American Bowl, and no doubt about it. And then the San Antonio All-Star Game is fantastic too. It's best of the best in San Antonio.
It really is. To give you an idea, because the intro, did we get the intro back yet? It's 631 NFL draft picks, including the last four of the last 5 number 1 overall selections, 274 Pro Bowl selections, 103 Super Bowl champions, 18 Heisman finalists, 6 Heisman winners have all played in the All-American Bowl at some point.
That's incredible. No, it really is. It's incredible. And some big stars that played there that went on to be big stars in the NFL. So very cool. If you get a chance to go down there, one ticket gets you both games, right?
That is correct.
That's awesome.
That is correct.
That is awesome. Plus some Whataburger, I think.
No, that's only on the ones we gave away.
Oh, that's the only ones? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got to buy your own Whataburger then.
Yeah, we gave them all away.
Well, that's too bad.
I still have extras if anybody wants them. Come out Friday, and I'll have some at Bubba's 33 on Friday.
The Alamo Ranch location with our friends from Flight by Yingling. Come on out. That's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. And before we take a break, because we are getting up against it, we teased this coming up. Albert Breer is doubling down, apparently, on the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are very interested in Matt Patricia for their defensive coordinator position. Now, of course, Patricia was at Ohio State this year, and that defense was pretty damn good.
Yep.
So, and he was with the Patriots in their heyday as defensive coordinator. Was a head coach briefly. Wasn't very good at that, but he was a pretty good defensive coordinator.
But Jerry does like guys that have head coaching experience, whether it was good or bad. See Eberflus. I look at a guy like Matt Patricia, and just the name should get you excited as a Cowboy fan, which is why I want to temper it. Because is it going to be too expensive? Is he, and I don't know, does he have relationships with the Jones family? Because I know Jerry said it's a wide net, but Jerry's track record says he's going to hire somebody that he's somewhat familiar with. But the New England ties, and you know that he and Kraft are close, so maybe that is enough there. That and Schottenheimer going against New England enough. Maybe there is something there to get excited about. I still think Jeff Ulbrich is a likely candidate if they promote from within, which would surprise me. But Aaron Whitecotton, because he's got that relationship with Quinnen Williams, and quite frankly, and I feel like I might be the only one watching Hard Knocks the in season. And last night's episode was just god-awful, but I digress. But Whitecotton gets featured a lot in this. And for whatever reason, it's like, all right. They're showing his meeting room and showing him talking to him, and you watch that and you go, well, maybe there's something there, right? I mean, to go from defensive line coach, and he was with the Jets, 1 year with the Cowboys with Eberflus, but relationships in the building, to me, long shot, because that's not what Jerry's MO typically is, but trust factor that they have. So, you know, it's I don't know. I mean, Matt Patricia, get excited, but and Albert Breer can double down all he wants. That's just not the Jerry way, is it?
Well, I don't know, and I think you hit the nail on the head at the beginning. How expensive is he going to be? I would assume he won't be that expensive. Now, I don't know what he's making at Ohio State, but he does have a pretty good reputation in the NFL as a good defensive coordinator. So we'll see. It is a name to think about, and a name that we haven't thrown out just yet. But Albert Breer, he's reliable.
And if you're going to draw a conclusion like James Pledger is doing, Aiden Dirty left the Cowboys, was the DL coach, and is now the DC in Seattle. But he's also working for a guy that was a defensive coordinator. So to me, when you've got a defensive-minded head coach and you become a coordinator, you kind of feel like the offensive coordinator that doesn't call plays. I don't know if he's doing all the DC work or if he is more in that realm. Anything could be there, you know. And okay, Matt Burke is calling plays in Houston, not D'Amico, but you know, D'Amico's on those headsets and with a lot of input and a lot of say.
You know he is.
It's just in Dallas, and I think the differences is, and if you're Schottenheimer and you're Jerry and you're Steven and you're looking at defensive coordinator candidates, a guy that's never done it before, not likely, because the way it is set up in Dallas, Schottenheimer is running the offense, and this dude is going to run the defense.
Right.
He's basically the defensive head coach. So do they give those responsibilities to a guy that's never been in that position? I just don't see that happening in Dallas with somebody like that. I mean, they're great examples, Pledge, but I just don't think that recipe works in Dallas, the way the head coach is basically saying, that side of the building, that's yours. We'll have a meeting about the game plan, but that's yours.
I just think that's why Patricia makes sense to me, because he doesn't appear to be a guy that's going to come in and just kind of be a bull in a china closet. He's going to come in just to be a defensive coordinator. I don't think he wants to be anything else. He knows. He has to know he was a dismal head coach. He was horrible. So I don't think those designs are there anymore. But imagine if you're a Matt Patricia, you did a great job with Ohio State, and you go to the Dallas Cowboys and able to turn that defense around. I mean, that would be a pretty good mark in your resume. He makes sense. Some of these other guys don't. I mean, everybody was throwing out Brian Flores. That's not going to happen. He's going to be a head coach somewhere. I have a feeling. Raheem Morris, not sure that's going to happen. It could.
Although Morris makes more sense than Flores. Schwartz makes sense. if he's there.
Yeah, and he would be good.
Who was the DC in Atlanta? They all got fired at the same time.
That was Jeff Ulbrich.
Jeff Ulbrich.
Yeah, and he makes sense.
Brandon Staley. Again.
What is Staley doing?
Defensive coordinator for the Saints.
For the Saints, okay. And they had a pretty decent defense for a not-so-good team.
But under contract and a lateral move. So what other can you do? I know Schottenheimer was asked today about Jim Leonard, who's the Broncos' defensive pass game coordinator. Schotty said all kinds of nice things. I just don't see somebody like that being a realistic candidate. I could be wrong. We all could be wrong, because if they go with somebody like that, then I think Brian Schottenheimer has a lot more influence and say in the room than we're giving him credit for right now and not being in the room. I can also say I think somebody like that would be somebody that I think a coach not comfortable in his position would want to hire. Because if Brian Schottenheimer does hire one of these guys with head coaching experience that could essentially take his job if things don't go well, if his second year as offensive coordinator goes like Cliff Kingsbury's in Washington, and Jerry wants to make a change, a guy that's been a head coach on the other side of the room, think about what we were talking about with Dan Quinn. Mike McCarthy, if you screw this up, Dan Quinn's going to take your job. Mike McCarthy's very comfortable. He's been a head coach for a long time. I don't know Brian Schottenheimer well enough. His personality tells me he wouldn't be nervous about it, but human nature says, do you want to hire a guy that could actually take your job?
That's why Matt Patricia makes perfect sense, because he ain't taking nobody's job. He's just not. I kind of like that name popping up. And, again, we'll see. It could be somebody we're not even talking about at this point in time, knowing Jerry Jones and how he operates. But Albert Breer throwing that out there I thought was interesting. What you got?
Rob Thompson is just texting me because of the comment you just made, bull in a china shop. I wish I was rich enough to have a china closet.
Well, I don't have one either, buddy, or a bull.
That's what Rob took from that conversation. I wish
good.
I had china.
But yeah,
the good stuff.
Right. But you remember, like, if you hired a guy like Rex Ryan, I mean, he's going to come in and bully everybody. So that wouldn't happen.
Sure.
So Matt Patricia would be a guy that I don't think would cause a lot of waves.
Maybe. I don't know. I just there's just so many factors, and then when you listen to what Jerry had to say today, you can't draw any kind of conclusion of what they're doing.
No, you can't.
I mean, he's always kind of wanted somebody that's been a head coach. Kind of a requirement? Not really. I mean, he can't even answer the question. And for Jerry, was it cut two? Was it cut two? Listen to how Jerry answered the question when he was asked about head coaching being a requirement.
No. Yes.
What? I mean,
you ask a good question.
Yeah.
No,
well, can we get a straight
no,
answer
it's
from you?
not
And the
a
answer is
requirement,
no.
Having been a head
yes.
coach, and yes, it's possible to have a first-time coordinator.
Yeah.
Well, which kind of blows me away, and I don't know if Jerry's telling the truth completely there.
No, he's not.
Going to a first-time head coach or offensive coordinator.
I know we're up against
whatever
the break,
hell
but
it is.
I don't know where Juan wants to go with this, but he's calling in about Rex Ryan. Juan, what do you got on Sexy Rexy?
What's going on, brothers? Hey, I remember Rex Ryan wants to be the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. He's been wanting that job for since the last time they fired the coach.
Well, he is the
Could it be a possibility?
He's the literal bull in a china closet, which I don't think is going to happen, my friend, honestly.
I mean, they tried with his brother once. He's campaigned for jobs. He's interviewed for jobs. He hasn't gotten the job. If you recall, in the Cowboys brass, they remember things. And I remember asking Stephen Jones one time about some of the comments that Rex made, and Stephen was not all happy with that guy. I think if you were putting together odds, and they would be long shot odds, and if you bet on Rex Ryan, you would just be throwing away your money. I just don't see that happening.
I don't think it is either.
But I do think Rex Ryan would take a job anywhere he could get a job.
Yep.
He's been in TV too long, and he knows the longer he's in TV, the less likely he'll get back to being a job. But seems like every one of these that come up, he's always kind of interested in it and never gets the job. And he's got to be madder than hell that Jason Garrett is actually getting an interview to be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, whether he gets it or not. But a guy like Rex Ryan just has to be fuming that Garrett's getting an interview and Rex is not.
Well, Garrett gets the job in Tennessee. He can hire Sexy Rexy as his DC.
Oh, good Lord, that ain't going to happen.
Come on, Rex. Let's go. Spurs with a big game inside the Frostbank Center tonight. They're taking on the L.A. Lakers, LeBron and company, Luka and company. We're talking Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Want to brag a little bit, though, first about my Kinetico Quality Water Softener. I love this thing. I'm going to tell you what, I absolutely love this thing. And let me tell you something. When I first got it, I was a skeptic. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think it was going to be any better than anything else I've ever had. But I tell you, I found out very quickly that it is head and shoulders better than anything else I've ever had. I just taking a shower, clothes out of the washing machine, dishwasher, all of that stuff that you use water for, you can tell the difference. It's amazing what a difference it makes. It is just so much better than anything else on the market. All the products are made right here in America, and I love the fact that you don't plug this thing in. It runs on that kinetic energy. I'm not smart enough to really know what that is. I do know that it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it is reliable as you can get. And they still have that deal going on. You got to take advantage of this thing. A free reverse osmosis drinking station that they're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. I've got one, and I don't know what I'd do without it. It's like having bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. It is incredible. Plus, the fine folks at Kinetico are going to give you some free money for 12 months. 0% interest for 12 months. It is a great deal. Treat yourself, treat your family to the best water softener on the market. That is a Kinetico. The numbers to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at KineticoSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Kinetico.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, or Small Friday, as we around here like to call it. Spurs had the Lakers. How'd they come out smelling, Rob?
We got football, the Fiesta Bowl,
Yes.
the frozen tundra of Phoenix. Miami, Ole Miss, we'll get you ready for it. It's going to be a huge day. Set your alarm. Get here early. Party's up to 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together, like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect this family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you had a great day today. Nice hump day, first hump day of the new year. It has been a good one. Certainly lots happening in the sports world, and we're glad you're here with us on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. Spurs in action tonight inside the Frost Bank Center, back-to-back after they lost to Memphis last night.
We'll get into the Lakers. Let's talk about what happened last night.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Last night sucked.
Yes.
News at 11. Last night was so frustrating because the Spurs should have rolled in there and rolled Memphis. That should have been an easy win. That should have been the kind of game, especially as shorthanded as Memphis was. Now, there are times when you see a shorthanded team, other people are getting opportunities, and those games bite you. The idea, though, that the Spurs were in it late despite a crap game, the worst game De'Aaron Fox has played as a Spur. And bad games are going to happen.
Sure.
But when you think about Wemby going to the bench with 3.5 minutes to play because he had met his minutes restriction, that pissed me off because the coaching staff so mismanaged his minutes that he wasn't there in the end. Coming off the bench is supposed to allow him to be able to have the minutes at the end. And they couldn't use him. And I'm thinking 3 more minutes aren't going to kill this guy. It's not going to ruin the rest of his game, or the rest of his career, the rest of this season. It's just frustrating, but it also tells me Mitch Johnson is not in charge. The doctors are, the sports science guys. So when you look at that, a game that they should have won. That should have been an easy win. With this tough stretch of games coming up, you can't give one away to Memphis. And the fact that they've lost to Portland, they've lost to Utah, add Memphis, yet you can beat Oklahoma City. Wouldn't surprise me if they beat the Lakers tonight because they play up to competition, but they also play down to it, and that's bothering Victor Wembanyama.
So the good thing is we can match up with anybody and look everybody in the eyes. The bad thing is we look everybody in the eyes. And sometimes we should just put people away. I think most of the time we execute well, but we don't finish plays, positions. So we just keep people in there, keep people in there. And they're still an NBA team, so anything can happen in the fourth quarter.
You know how frustrating it must have been for him to sit there on the bench the final 3.5 minutes and watch the lead go away and Memphis actually win that basketball game, and he was able to do nothing about it. And let me just – what I saw last night was I saw the alien again.
Yep.
30 points in 21 minutes. This guy was doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. And to have that kind of performance in 21 minutes is just incredible. And the fact that you pull him with 3.5 minutes, and I've heard people say, well, the other guy should have stepped in. They should have picked it up. And, yeah, maybe they should have. But how many times, even on those good Spurs teams, did Tim Duncan save the Spurs' ass?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, by just taking over in the final 3 or 4 minutes of a ball game and just pulling the Spurs out of a fire. That's what your stars do if they're on the floor in crunch time, and Wemby wasn't.
Well, he hit his curfew. He wasn't allowed to be out there. And that's on the coaching staff for not managing his minutes properly. But apparently it's a hard and fast rule that they can't break, and they would rather have him on the bench than those extra 3 minutes and take a loss than stretch his minutes for the win. And the audio is what it is with all the background noise. The quote, we can match up with everybody and look anybody in the eye. The bad thing is we look everybody in the eye. They know tonight it's the Lakers. A big game, I expect a big performance. And when they're playing a crap team like they did last night, they're going to play down to that level of competition. The fact that he uses, the bad thing is we look everybody in the eye. And there's nobody on the planet that Vic can actually look eye to eye when he's standing. I mean,
Godzilla.
I mean, he could be sitting in a chair and he's going to overlook both of us too. I mean, that's just the way it is. But the analogy is spot on and perfect with what we have seen from this team as of late. And I think what pisses us all off is the fact that our expectations for this season have completely changed with how well they played in November and December.
Without a doubt. And the record that they have, nobody predicted that.
No.
Nobody. There's nobody that would have said the Spurs are where they're at right now at the beginning of the season. They have played great basketball. They're a deep team, and they've got a lot of players who are getting it done and know their roles. My concern is, and I will say this, and I may be the only guy out there concerned about this, but the fact that they are hard and fast with this minutes restriction with Wemby is concerning to me. Because when I watched that young man play last night, I didn't see anything wrong with him. Nothing. I mean, he looked like he was in top form last night, but yet he's still on a minutes restriction. I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
I wish the sports guys could explain the why, right? I'm a why guy. When your boss wants something, you go, why the hell am I doing this? A waste of time. And they explain why. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, but at least you can understand the why. I don't understand the why on the minutes restriction at this point. You know, by all accounts, the hyperextended knee, pain tolerance, and I'm guessing tonight if he feels good, he's going to play. If he doesn't feel good, he's not going to play because the hyperextended knee doesn't require, apparently, prohibits you from playing in a back-to-back. If the minutes restriction is still because of the calf, I could understand that. But give me the reasoning why 21 minutes is okay, but 25 minutes is not. When there's 3.5 minutes left in the game, that you would rather have a loss against a bad team than play him an additional 3 minutes to get the win in a very winnable game. When you start looking at the standings, and tonight's game could go a long way. In this next stretch, they've got a very tough 10-game stretch coming up.
They do.
January is a brutal schedule. And so when you have the easy ones like last, you got to get those wins.
Because that loss could turn into 2 tonight. I mean, this is no gimme against the Lakers. They're playing well. They come in on a 3-game win streak. Now, they did play again last night in New Orleans and rallied to beat the Pelicans. The injury report has Devin Vassell out again tonight. He will not play. Wemby's listed as questionable. So that's how it sits right now. He was listed as questionable last night as well. So that's where we sit when it comes to the health of the San Antonio Spurs.
I know Michael C. Wright from ESPN tweeted out, blah, blah, blah. When they talked to him last night, Memphis, he seemed fine. Plan was for him to play tonight if he's feeling up to it. Pretty sure he's itching to play in this one. And I think that's part of the problem that the Spurs coaching staff and medical staff are probably dealing with. And Wemby even said, he is always trying to push them to be able to do more. They've got to be strong and be able to tell him no, because he is a competitor. So when I read if he's feeling good, he's going to go play. If he's not, if it's Wemby and the competitor that we all know that he is, he's going to play tonight. And it's the Lakers. It's on national TV. You're going against LeBron. You're going against Luka. And you look in the standings, this is an important game for a team that is right on your heels in the standings.
Yeah, they are right there. And, again, they come in playing good basketball. But, again, I would assume, this is an assumption on my part, but I'm going to say it anyway, that before the game, Mitch Johnson knows how many minutes Wemby is allowed to play tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got an assistant, you've got somebody that's going to keep you apprised of how many minutes Wemby has recorded, and it's your job to make sure that he is available to you if you need him in crunch time, the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. I mean, it just seems to me that that makes sense. Now, if the game goes and it's a blowout, fine. Then maybe you save a few minutes. But if you need Wemby for the last 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game, he's got to be available to this team.
He does. And, again, I get that Mitch Johnson has a boss, and that is an organization, they have a plan. And the medical people decide everything. I just don't understand. My brain has not figured out how those 3 minutes make that much of a difference. And is it 20 minutes a game, or is it a collective amount of minutes in a week? Because say if a game is a blowout and he only gets 17 minutes, does that mean we got 3 in the bank for next one? Right?
I don't know if it works that way, but yeah.
All right. I don't know. I mean, what happens if you've adjusted his minutes and you're playing to win this game and your minutes are perfect and the game goes to overtime?
Oh, my
Now
gosh.
you're not going to let him play in overtime?
Wow.
Right? I mean, how is it just such a hard, fast rule that 3.5 minutes, our best player who's having a hell of a game, go sit down and let's take a loss to Memphis?
Well, it's concerning to me. And, again, I may be the only one, but the fact that they're staying hard and fast on this young man's time on the floor, it concerns me. It really does.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
So we'll see what happens tonight. And, of course, we'll react to it tomorrow for sure because, well, hopefully we'll be talking about a Spurs victory when we get in here at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Pledge, you got a show? Extra innings with the suit. The suit, Pledge, is good.
Wearing his Aggie jersey.
That's right. Is Johnny Manziel. He's Johnny Manziel today. Good for Pledge. He'll get you going here as soon as we sign off the air. Don't forget to join the fellas in the morning on the Morning Huddle. They'll get going at 6 o'clock a.m. That's Rob and AJ. They'll react to that Spurs game as well. And then Minix and I will be back at 2 o'clock. Until then, everybody, have a great night.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is KTFM Floresville and streaming online at sasportstar.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Ectoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Ectoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Ectoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Ectoderm Flare Control Cream. Ectoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Hi. My name's Jason Thompson. I've been representing people injured in traffic collisions here in San Antonio for more than 30 years. After a collision, I've spoken to many people who wanted to believe that the other driver's insurance company would be fair and they really didn't need an attorney. They thought that the insurance company would pay their medical bills and do the right thing. I wish that were true, but trying to go it alone is a big, big mistake. If you have been injured, please know the other driver's insurance company has adjusters and attorneys working against your interest. If insurance companies were trying to get to heaven, I'd be out of a job. job, gladly. That is just not the world we live in, though. Call me as soon as you can if you are injured in a traffic collision. I do not charge anything to review your case with you. I'll tell you what you need to do and what you should not do. If you want a smart and fair result, you'll need to make smart decisions along the way, and that is what I do. You and I will make smart decisions for you and your family, and we'll get justice and fair results. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Joe, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go.